Well, it's time for some podcasting. We hope you keep on listening. It's time for talking Tremor shit, pop, pop. Wow. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I am your host, Levi Dylan Burzloff-Lutt. I assume you probably know who this person is, frequent guest and executive producer of the show, Kaitlin Lutt Burzloff.
Hey!
And she forgot we do a song at the beginning.
I did, even though it's really loud. I somehow forgot.
How can you not?
I got it. I'm in. I got it now.
To the show.
It is. Every time I hear that, I'm always thinking your crazy voices in my head doing your.
It's like one of the rare things that's been here since the very beginning. Like legitimately.
Yeah, no,
Yeah. Hello, Zilla Films.
Hi.
That's Alec Ramirez. He makes Tremors movies. Pretty good.
Cool.
Hey, so anyway, we're here and we are two Sacagaweas because much like I was gonna say Lewis and Clark, but they suck. So I went with the Sacagaweas. They crossed the country. They crossed it for land purposes. We crossed it for Tremors, which is also a type of land.
It's not the first time we've done that though, and I don't know if it was the first time that Lewis and Clark did that either.
I feel like it has to be. Otherwise, what's the point of that story?
Yeah.
We got Wayne and Boo Skitty. Hey, ha. How's everybody doing?
What up? Happy people.
Yeah, but we're here to talk about. Caitlin and I went on like a little trip all the way.
A little trip. It was a crazy time.
It's the setup, the segue. We built to it. It's a little trip. We'll take you on a little trip. Honestly, Caitlin is the one that's been banging on my door to do this episode.
I don't know about that. Yeah. That's kind of a weird
I can tell. No, you're just like really eager to do it. Like that's really cool.
No, like I said before, we did this earlier. I want to kind of be able to process it and put it behind me because it was a lot.
A little traumatizing.
Here
too. Hey. It was a lot.
It was a lot. And then I had like 1.5 days to deal about it and then go back to work.
You didn't even have 1.5 days.
There's a reason that I have been kind of weird mentally lately. I need to process all the stuff that went on.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have you guys help me with it.
So if you have any questions while we're going, oh, Jennifer Steffen, I was going to say, you're one of the people from the Little House. Like,
nice.
Honestly, one of my biggest regrets was that I didn't ask you guys
house.
If we could move over and combine our two tables. I feel like we could have powerhouse there.
We should have combined horses.
If Charlotte Stewart was there, that would have been easy. That would have been happening immediately.
No, but I love Little House. We watched that all
That's
the
where
time.
my dad's name comes from. I call him Pappy, and it kind of that's what they called. God, I can't fucking remember his name.
Oh my God, that's where you got Pappy from?
They called the dad Pappy. So Pappy, Daddy Burzloff.
I didn't know that. Yeah. That's funny.
It's from Little House.
No, I watched that all the time growing up. It's like sometimes all it was on.
I picked up Pappy. So honestly, that was my one out of all the regrets was I did not realize you guys were right at that table, and I was like, oh my God, we should have. We could have
toddler room.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Uh-huh. They were just at a convention actually last week, a great
that's
big
so
one.
Cool.
Like a Perfection Fest, like a Tremors Fest style one, for Little House. There was trains and everything. It looked really cool.
Cool.
We meet people. I like I said, wish we could have met more, but we decided to go on a whole adventure. And the first question right out of the bat is why did we go?
Why did
we go?
I think the better question you need to start with is why were you going to go?
Well, that's
the original question. Yeah. Why was Levi going to go to Pasadena to Tremor, whatever the hell this was?
Pasadena Tremors Reunion 2025. What's up, Greg?
Oh, hey.
I always remember you.
Yeah, same.
Moving helper.
Same.
Never forget. Really, it was such a spur of the moment thing. I'd started seeing that it had been advertised way more than usual. I had been asked right after Tremors Fest. And yeah, Sarah, why would you not go? I mean, I didn't really want to. It's a lot of money to just drop all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm going to be doing stuff like that because
it's fair. She has every right to do that. That was fair. Where was I?
We were talking about why you were going to go.
I had been asked, asked back in November to find people for this, for my organizing with Tremors Fest. had been asked by the guys that did the comics, the Tremors comics, like, hey, we're going to go to Pasadena Comic-Con, and they were asking for like more Tremors people. Could you hook us up and stuff? And I was like, yeah, sure. And it was actually kind of hard to do. So that was the easy part. And then since like November, I've been trying to hook up with the actual organizer of the event. And it's been slow going up until recently. Like, it was a month before we went that I was finally able to like ping his number and hey, here's this person wants to go, because everybody lives in the LA area. So it's like, oh shit, they're fucking here, as we'll come to discover as part of this story. But I had seen that basically like this event had gone from like no marketing to being like, oh, now this is an official event. And I'm sitting over here like, well, I thought our Tremors Fest, Perfection Fest was the official event for this year, but that's fine. I will go out to Pasadena. That is A-okay by me. I can do that. Oh, what?
You, by yourself.
By me, yeah. Like, Kaitlin was not a part of this. There's another timeline where Caitlin's not here, like, as that.
Well, no. It's not even that. Like, I just wasn't going to go with you because A, I had to work. B, you were planning on going within, like, what? 6 days. Like, really quick. It was just really quick. Like, there was no reason for me to go. You were gonna go and come back. Like, there was no reason for me to go.
It's gonna be nice and cheap. Honestly, airfare's not that terrible. Like, if you plan ahead, a little bit.
Oh yeah, that was the thing. Yeah, Levi was gonna fly.
It's only like
there and back.
It's
gonna
like,
be fine.
Like, yeah.
But then the real
get
world
a hotel. And actually, I was gonna Finn Carter and I had been talking, and she really wanted to go. So then I basically convinced her to go because I'd be there and like I'd help her out. And we were gonna have a hotel together, so it's like, okay, we can like save money and do things, and then
Kaitlin with the logic.
I just say you gotta
comes in.
You gotta do the whole thing here.
Well,
so first I'll say as a lead up, what is a real ID? And hey, Kylie and Bob, what's up, guys?
Yeah, no. So
what is a real ID, Kaitlin?
All right, I'm just gonna say we don't travel normally, and if we do,
it's by car.
I can't tell you how many times we've driven for Tremors. We've been to Santa Fe at least twice.
Not even for Tremors. Just in
general.
We're going somewhere, we drive.
We just kind of prefer to drive because we have all of our stuff. You can be in more control, whatever. So this was going to be a whole, like, Levi was going to fly, like, for the first time. But we were going to start doing that more because it seems like you are kind of sometimes needed out in California, which... don't even get that's a whole other conversation.
As will come.
But then I don't know what like clicked in my head, but I realized that we needed the real ID. Like,
so on May 7th, it went into effect that you have to have a very specific type of ID called a real ID, not like a driver's license, but like a super special extra driver's license. So you can fly on planes. And I was leaving May 26th. This was the 24th.
When I came home panicked at lunch, literally the day before Levi was going to, well, I guess it wouldn't even matter at that point because you wouldn't have been able.
I see Matt side deck. Sorry. And Madwan. What's up? Sorry.
You wouldn't have been able to fly, would
Yeah, no.
It didn't matter.
She came home at lunch being like, do you know what a real ID is? And I'm like, no. And she's like, I think you need it to like fly. And I'm like,
you need it.
What? I didn't see any of that while I was signing. Oh my fucking God. It is. Yes. And it's a whole thing of like needing a passport, needing a birth certificate, your social security, mail, and like tax information. And it's like, oh wow. I actually don't have my birth certificate because I'm from Texas and it's gotten lost in recent years. I'm working on getting it now, but it's like, oh shit. So wasn't able to get a real ID in any regular amount.
Not in the amount of time that we needed to get it.
Like actually. So
then this one here is like
what we could with what we got.
No, let me explain. So then this one here was like, well, I have to drive. Kaitlin, I have to get a car. I have to rent a car and drive across the country.
There's lead up to this.
Not much. That's about what it was.
Well, you're missing the other part of it where like I had been, at least for the last like month leading up to it, like trying to get people there. Like legitimately like calling people.
Oh, right.
Like actually getting people there and telling them, oh, I will be there. Oop, have a good night, Jennifer.
Bye.
See you then. Yes. Oh my God. Would love to see you in the futures. I had done all this work, like getting people there and telling them that I would be there specifically. Like, okay, like I'm gonna like help you out, figure out like what to do.
Mhm.
And so if I wasn't gonna be there, it would have been this clusterfuck of everybody just like
showing up and not knowing where to
not
go,
knowing
or
what to do. So I had a personal responsibility from everything to like, okay, I actually have to go. Like, so yeah, and it is.
I mean,
Real ID does sound like some classes bullshit.
it's
I
crazy
agree.
that you have to have a special ID to fly commercially within the United States. And don't worry, we'll get to how hard it is to get into California here in a second.
Yeah, that's
because
specific.
I'm going to
I
go
haven't
on a
ridden
very
there.
long
Never ridden
rant.
there.
I hope y'all are ready because I am
It's a really good rant.
fired up about it.
It's a really good rant.
Okay, so anyways, so
Real ID.
Levi literally starts freaking out and is like, I gotta go. I gotta go.
Say I freaked out. I actually went into like focus mode.
Like, I gotta go.
I know
I gotta rent a car and I gotta go.
Like, that's it.
And so, look, I was already having a hard time sending Levi across the country on a plane by themselves in the current state that we live in. Like fucking hell, I was gonna let Levi jump in a car by themselves and travel not just to California, but then all the way back. You still think you could have done that? And I think
like
you are
tried.
absolutely crazy. There is no way. There's no way, because you had to get there within a certain amount of time, and we barely got there as it was with both of us driving. There's no way. There's absolutely no way you would have made it on your own. And so
you're MVP. I know.
No. I went into full-on panic attack. Like a full-on panic attack mode. Like hyperventilating, like the whole bit.
There was a point with the rental car, because it was real, like getting one. Every other time we've gotten a rental car.
Because it was Memorial Day weekend.
It's true. Like the worst time to get a rental car, and like trying to get one, we were driving around to every different place.
So stressful.
My God.
It was awful.
And I could tell, like, oh my God, Kaitlin was freaking out. And it's like, babe, it's fine. Like slow as smooth as fast.
Yeah, but
like,
that was after. No, okay. So I panicked, hyperventilated, and then I was like, I have to go back to work and say, hey, I'm just not going to show up for the next week and a half because I'm going to go out to California and do something crazy with Levi. And it's like, I can't really.
And they didn't care.
Well, they did, but like they
no.
Not really. But it's like hard to explain. Like what we went and did is wildly unprecedented.
Have you still explained it to them?
Not really, because I haven't been able to.
I hope they're watching this. You should share this on your like Facebook.
It's fine, whatever. I can do it later. But it's like, how do you put into words like what you and I jumped in a rental car and drove all night to get to Pasadena? We still only had like 8 hours to spare. Like we barely got there.
No, we got there like 10. We had a solid 10.
No, it just was one of those things that like we had to act then and there, and I had to make
a decision. Boom, yeah.
I had to make a decision like, do I let Levi go on their own or do I not? And it got to a point where I genuinely could either we both went or neither one of us went.
Yeah. And as we got to the
there's no way.
Kaitlin was like integral to like everything, as she usually is.
I was just worried about your safety. It wouldn't even matter about what you were going to go do. Like that was the furthest thing from my mind. It was about you being safe.
I feel like I would have been fine, but I appreciate you all the same.
I love that you think that, and your naivete
I'm gonna live in that
crazy
world where maybe that's true.
Please comment on how crazy.
How wrong am I?
It's not even wrong. Like you just like think everything's gonna be fine because you're Levi. It's like, no, that's not how the world works. And you're just gonna jump in a rental and drive across the country.
Oh, hey Patrick, I love you, bud. I wish you could be. I want to have you on the show. I need to talk to you about your cosplays and building shit. Amazing. Did you see Patrick's like? He built a full-on graboid head as a cosplay booth.
Oh yeah,
like, legitimately
cool.
Bravo,
see,
bud.
Thank you, Kylie.
Yeah.
See, she gets it.
See, okay, okay, we got one person out of 6.
So it got to a
Levi.
point where I had to either.
You could have got kidnapped. Exactly.
Thank you. You could have gotten a lot worse than kidnapped
we could have both got kidnapped at the same time.
Of course we could,
like,
but
I don't know. Like, that's what I think.
If there's 2 of us, it's a lot less likely for someone to
really
target.
Doesn't feel like it helps. In all honesty, that's how. Like that's where it's not naivete. Like I just live in the real world of like. If they were gonna like kidnap us, they could just like kidnap both of us. Like that's, I don't really think it would matter. But I appreciate you cared. I'm sorry, it's not to like devalue that. I'm just like, I feel like we both be fucked. But Kaitlin was cared enough to like make sure she actually met with.
I did, because I was like, well, I don't know how you're gonna get there, just you. But then B, I was genuinely worried about your safety. So like,
You were already worried about that before I got on the plane.
That's why I freaked out, because I was like, wasn't great about you flying, but
The graboid build was sick. Yeah.
But yeah, so
they
then
probably would bring Levi. Exactly. They would bring me back, Kylie. Honestly, if we got captured and kidnapped, I would just start talking to them about Tremors.
oh my god, right?
And they would either be like so endeared or like get the fuck out of here. And in either way, like that's our win. We win, right?
It's true. Yeah, so we drove.
We got a van too. Like that.
We did get a van. Vans are cool.
Yeah, usually we get like a mid-size or something, but we got a van because that's literally all there fucking was.
Yeah, Memorial Day. No, hold on. Thursday afternoon on Memorial Day weekend is not the time to be renting a car.
That guy Kenji at Avis, like, bravo, man.
At the Moline Airport, he really pulled through for us, and we appreciate him a lot.
I have a friend who didn't feel safe going downtown with four of us big tall guys.
See?
Yeah. I feel like that may be the most effective way to not be kidnapped now. Yes. Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Talk about Tremors. Yep.
I mean, yeah. But yeah, so we drove across the country and we
got to go state by state. Like, it's like.
I don't even think we need to go state
by state. Honestly, it's Nebraska. It's whatever.
Nebraska's fine. It's flat. It's whatever. It's a
Colorado is dope. I love the mountains.
Colorado's great.
I could drive through the mountains at any point in time.
We drove through a lot of mountains very quickly. Everybody just wanted to move very quickly.
Look, I was terrified of driving in the mountains because everybody else was going so fast. Like, it wasn't the mountain itself. It was like everybody's just going like 85,
65 plus up there, baby.
What the
Hold on for your dear freaking lives, because we're all getting there really quickly.
It's true. So on Ross Bob, kidnappers changed mind after victim relentlessly talking about Tremors, and then Sarah right behind it, just word for word quote the beginning in due voice. Oh, that's true. I could I could become the bard of their like sex trafficking.
I could do some rants about lots of different things too. I could probably do Tremors rants with you.
You could. I was gonna say you've been up here enough.
I have watched Tremors enough. Yes, I know what I'm talking about.
She's watched Tremors the series more than regular fans have.
Oh my god! But we met them. We gotta get to the good stuff here.
There was the mountains. There was a really cool dispensary where you could see like.
They had like a multi level grow room system where they would move plants down. You got to see the plants in the different stages of the grow process.
Driving through the mountains and seeing the little pockets of civilization where there's like
water. We saw wild horses, which was crazy. And guess what? I'm seeing a lot of wild horse video, like reels on my Facebook now. It was awesome. It was
fucking cool.
So
and wild cows too. Yeah.
Yeah, wild cattle, and remember the herd of buffalo on the way back? Yeah, when we thought we were gonna die? Yeah.
In Utah?
Yeah.
So Colorado's all mountains, but I wanted to get to like Nevada and specifically your thoughts on Las Vegas.
Oh, I do have some thoughts. So I was driving at this point, and I actually drove quite a bit on the way in because I was so fucking
we were both like amped up on
I was like, so adrenaline up.
Like, let's fucking go.
Even if I had wanted to sleep, there's no way.
Every time we would like trade, it'd be like, oh, I'm gonna like rest, and it's like, nope.
No.
I gotta be focused. I'm sitting here driving with you. Love you, Ross. Peace and love.
Thanks for coming.
A D&D session. Fuck yeah, man.
But yeah, no. So I don't know if any of you have like driven in or around Las Vegas recently, but
would not recommend.
So I don't know. I would say like the 50 miles is maybe a lot, but that's just the number.
It was about 30.
30.
45, like 40, 30.
A number of miles, we'll say between 30 and 50, leading up to the city of Las Vegas.
And this is as you're coming out of the mountains. Las Vegas is in a valley, like a great big valley.
Yep.
You come down out of the mountains into Vegas, and as you do,
everything just starts to get really disgusting.
Trash.
Plastic.
Trash.
Bottles. On both sides of the road.
Just blowing everywhere.
It's like blowing, and then like I was looking like close, kind of trying to look closely at like what it was. There's a lot of broken glass and probably like needles and just lots of stuff that you don't want to touch.
It was so gross.
It was really gross.
And this is after, that's where I said Colorado is cool. I wanted this lead up to like Las Vegas and even the other parts of Nevada. Vegas is like, what the fuck? Because you go from all this pristine natural like landscape to this just suburban capitalist hellscape.
It's definitely a party. It's definitely a party town. Like it had that gross, like grungy sort of. And I mean, obviously, we didn't go into Vegas. We drove around or through it or whatever. But like, maybe there are good parts of it. There was a Blue Man Group there, which is pretty cool. But
there's a Meow Wolf there. But again, I don't know.
I just thought it was really gross. It was like covered in. Homeless. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. I can imagine there being a lot of homeless people out there too.
That's where
that's where everything starts to get really expensive.
That's the trash of it because nobody's taking care of stuff.
Well, and Vegas is the last like stop before you get into California. Yeah. It's really expensive. Like everything's just shoots up in price by like dollars.
Horrifying.
Which leads us.
Hold on. Well, and I have to say before we get to
California, I want to go on my California.
It's like right there. So there's the California. Like, the California border is like. Literally, it feels like it was only like 15 miles from Vegas.
Oh, it's very.
It's close. Like right there.
Yeah,
like literally like Vegas and then California. And on the other side of Vegas, I have to say that I felt really bad for the mountains on like the south side of Vegas because they just felt like they were covered in dust. Like everywhere else felt like regular mountain, but like that south side was just it looked like asbestos, just all
like it was like diseased and sick.
It was just like. Didn't see that anywhere else, and we traveled through a lot.
The Parasite. I'm going to give you a spoiler. Are human beings?
Yeah, it was bad. Oh my god,
it's bad. They're humans. Humans are.
It was bad. It was tragic, and I hate us. We suck. And to the suck part. So then we hit the California border, and this is actually the first moment we had traffic. And why did we have traffic, Kaitlin?
I'm gonna do this without raising my blood pressure too much.
This was the best part of the trip to me. Like the Caitlin's rant. This is so good.
And it's because of what they wanted. So we were stopped. They stopped us at like it looked like a toll booth. Like I genuinely thought
I was getting money out because I thought it was a toll booth.
I did too, but it was not moving in the way that a toll booth usually does. And I mean, we sat there for like 45 minutes. At least, like I kind of lost track because
it was our first actual traffic.
I was starting to see red, and we hadn't eaten, and it was dark, and I was like losing my mind.
Oh, there was a solar farm like that was so bright to the right. Sorry, that was really cool. Like they were like that giant mirror thing. Sorry, we were fascinated being stuck in traffic, like looking at whatever the hell that.
Well, and it was 5 lanes of traffic, and we had to get it down to 3. That wasn't very fun either. So we finally get up to what I thought was the toll booth. And there's a actually very nice young woman there. And she asks me, do you have any fresh produce?
No.
Fruits and vegetables or produce?
Or organic materials.
Organic materials. Do you have any of that in your car? I literally was like, I don't know. Do I? I think I do because, like, I don't know. Fruits, vegetables. I don't know. Like, sure. Like,
produce,
meanwhile, the stall next to us had their hatch open. Like, they were serious.
People were getting searched
and all that. Like, the hatch is like looking through stuff, looking for fruits and vegetables and organic produce, not weapons.
Do you got cucumber? Put it down. Put down the guacamole,
They didn't ask me about weapons. They didn't ask me about drugs. They didn't ask me about, like, they didn't ask me about anything that they should. Do I have any fresh produce or organic material in my vehicle?
Ma'am, you got illegal basil on you. We're going to have to
So then
confiscate
I told her, no, I don't think I do. No. Like, I'm dead. No. And she's like, okay, have a good day.
Boom.
I waited 45 minutes for you to ask me that? That's crazy. That's fucking crazy. Like, I cannot tell you how angry I got. Although I had been driving for a really long time and I was hungry.
Okay.
Look, I'll give it that. I may have overreacted. God damn it. What a stupid ass question to ask me. When you don't even ask me about anything dangerous. Like, I would have understood if she had said, like, do you have all this produce, whatever, and do you have, like, weapons, or do you have a gun?
Do you have a grenade?
Or do you have, like, drugs or something? Like, exactly.
Put down the watermelon.
Thank
slowly.
you. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, it broke my brain when my brain was already broken.
Interject and make it make less sense.
Yeah,
there's another part. This is actually that. There's a level of that I understand why a state would want to do that. Like, if you have agriculture and stuff, like there's reasons. However, my problem is that they don't have anything for going out of California.
Oh my God, that
It's
traffic was
only-
crazy going.
It's only for going into. You got to make sure there's no fucking fruits and vegetables if you're coming into California. Oh shit! If you're bringing like all the fruits and vegetables out of California, we don't give a fuck. Like no problem. Just keep going. Just keep. So the hypocrisy is my fucking problem.
But you want to know what?
Like, what the fuck? It has to be both ways. Otherwise, like the contamination quarantine thing you're doing is just bullshit.
Yeah, but you want to know what the reason was? And they could have said this, and I would have been like, "Oh no, like we don't have anything like that in here." The reasoning, we found this out from Glenn, is because they don't want any foreign insects.
No, that's what I'm saying. But they're not worried about stuff coming out.
No, they could care less about what's coming out.
That's my point.
They're worried about bugs being brought in.
We live in Iowa, I understand agriculture, and it's like I know the reason, but if they're not policing what's going out, then don't police it at all.
I'm
Like,
so annoyed by California.
As you should be. I get it.
Man, I literally.
Are you already looking at the time?
No, it's just at 100%, and I was just so annoyed. I haven't been that annoyed in a really long time. And it was already a really hard journey, and I just was like, what the?
It was stupid. And then when you get on the other side of California, gas immediately jumps from like $3.50 or whatever to like $6 a gallon.
Yeah.
And I hated that. That was my real like
that was
you,
rough.
California. Like
that was rough.
Eat a bag of dicks.
California is so expensive.
It was like, God damn.
It is so expensive compared to Iowa or literally anywhere else in the country.
No, like I said, the rest
anywhere out in the West, like, I guess.
That $3-ish for gas, and then boom.
Anybody who lives out in California, mad respect. Like, y'all are savage, and like you guys are kind of heroes in my opinion. If we're gonna talk about it, like I could never live there, never want to.
I'm good.
No, thank you.
So we get to California.
So we get there
to LA, and it's dark, and we end up meeting Finn Carter at our hotel. She had gotten there early.
Actually, that's in Pasadena.
But yeah, that's what I'm like. LA is Pasadena. It's all
It's just not.
Oh my God, we're really doing this.
It's not the same.
Look, for the purpose of our audience, like it just feels easier to be like, it's all LA.
Okay,
like,
fine.
I mean, there's Pasadena, there's Reseda, there's Santa Monica. Yes, I'm aware of these things. But we met Finn at our hotel. That was really, she had gotten there early and was having a good time. It was, she actually used to live in that area. Like she's from Pasadena. And
which I did not know that.
Yeah,
I thought that was really cool.
She was having a lot of fun just exploring her own hunting grounds.
She did.
She had bought a bottle of absinthe that I'm still like, okay. She didn't take it with her on the plane, so now it's like downstairs, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know.
I kind of, the way I looked at it, I kind of feel like we're keeping it for her when we see her
safety.
again.
It's safety.
We'll give it back to her later when the time is right.
There you go. And we were supposed to like go to sleep, and we did not go to sleep.
I mean, I did, but you definitely did not.
None of not really. Like
I couldn't sleep. I was so amped up on.
Had to take a shower and then just like, oh my God, trying to eventually.
That hotel was weird. It didn't have a microwave.
Yeah.
Like it was the most. Well, that probably wasn't the most expensive.
We went to jankier hotels that had microwaves, but that really nice one did not have a microwave.
Like it was like a valet parking, beautiful lobby situation. Beautiful. No microwave in the room.
Yeah, it was super. Fucking
it was
odd.
weird.
It was really fucking weird.
Like I still can't understand. That would be my one problem with
every other
all
amenity,
of that.
but no microwave.
It was a beautiful hotel and they were really cool, but yeah, no, they didn't have a microwave. And we could have used it. And it was really weird.
It's true. So then we did fall asleep, and we woke up the next morning at like 8 o'clock in the morning to walk down to the convention center because I did get a hotel that was nearby.
Oh yeah, it was like 2 blocks away from where we needed to go.
There.
It was.
And again,
close.
Finn's just like pointing shit out the whole time. The blades with the.
Oh my God! Right? They never have microwaves. They want you to eat live at their restaurants, probably.
I understand, but like.
Exactly right. I agree.
It's a bullshit.
But we didn't do it, so.
Yeah, we got Thai food instead. That's fine.
Ooh, that Thai food was good. We should talk about that too.
That will be later.
But yeah, so what was it called? The Pasadena Comic-Con at the convention center in Pasadena.
Pasadena Convention Center.
It was pretty cool.
Nice place. They had Monster Palooza there the next weekend. I liked it.
Yeah, the Ghostbusters were there, and the guy from Good Burger was there.
Sam Jones.
Morgan Fairchild was like literally
Little
right
House
on
the twins from Little House on the Prairie.
exactly,
Yeah.
yes. And then obviously all the Tremors people that were there.
And we walked in with Finn and really just followed her.
Look, we got the special armbands that got us anywhere.
The orange ones.
The orange ones, I literally got told, no, that'll get you anywhere. And you can cut the line and it's like VIP. But I was like carrying and like pushing her suitcase, so I guess I'll allow it.
That's fair.
No, I did. I got to cut the line several times. It was kind of cool.
Really? Like,
yeah, when I was running around, like
with food, like what?
No. Like when I was running around, like I left and came back. There was a line of people to get in. Yeah. I said that I showed them that I had an orange wristband, and they were like, "Oh, hold on a minute, she needs to come through." And I was like,
"Cool,
okay, I'll just walk through first. Thank you."
I did not get that memo. I was stuck at the table all day. But that was fair.
Oh yeah, no, I got you anywhere.
Oh, cool. So
legit anywhere.
We got in and go to the table, and like I said, I didn't realize this. We were seated next to the Little House on the Prairie people. Mm-hmm. That was dope. But we got there, and Michael Gross and Ron Underwood and Glenn Maddock were all there. Mm-hmm. It was honestly, Michael had his own. Actually, Michael had almost a table and a half. Michael had just like
he's professional,
tons of shit, and he had his neighbors there, London and I can't remember the other one's name.
The lovely young women. They were delightful.
They helped him so much that day. That was adorable.
And they literally had watched Tremors for the first time the night before.
Their mom was there. We were talking to her mom. Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me? They're Michael Gross's next door neighbor. And they obviously, why would you ever watch Tremors? But they knew they were going to go do that. And she was like, I felt like I kind of had to watch like at least one of the things he's been in because it felt weird to like come help him do that
and not actually know
because she's like, I've never seen Family Ties, I don't know what Tremors is, and I was like, you're so young. I really enjoyed them. They were cool.
They were neat. Yeah, it was cool. Their mom, I think Brooke was her name, she was really cool too.
Yeah, no, they were very cool.
So then Michael had his own honestly, he was like so surprised. Like Michael was like, oh my god,
he knows where we live. Like it's not an easy thing to get to where
I meant like going. With Finn and everybody, like all three of us, I think he was surprised, but he was just like, oh my god, hey, like, what are you guys doing here? We're like, hey, what's up, bud?
Hey man, we're just I don't know why I'm here. I let you talk, but
yeah. And then I have to say this about Ron Underwood, always in that leather jacket, and that leather jacket looks dope.
It's true.
Let me just say, like, that is a style, and I respect the fuck out of it. Like, he has this brown, like light brown leather jacket, and it just looks cool.
Ron Underwood is a vibe.
Yes, he is. Like,
he's a really cool dude.
I really like that dude. And then Glenn. Honestly, then we were like talking to Glenn, trying to get things set up. Kaitlin had to go back to the hotel to we forgot Finn's giant poster thing
with all of her heads of Rhonda Lubeck, just Finn Carter, Tremors,
and then,
like 12 other things. It was a lot.
I was originally gonna help Finn sell her autographs and photos and stuff, and then I did not do a good enough job apparently. Although I thought I was, and then Kaitlin had to step in. After she got back.
It was not unlike my job at the pharmacy. If we're talking a lot about it, it's basically what I did.
So you kicked ass at it.
It's you take money, you exchange money for a service, and then you just kind of make sure that person follows through. It's not unlike what I do at the pharmacy. It was a long day though. It was a lot. It was a lot of people. It was just a lot.
And that's just the beginning.
Very challenging. Very, very challenging day.
It started at 9, and it was the 6 of us for a good hour or so. I got to sit and talk with Ron about movies that weren't Tremors. It was really nice. I gotta get my heart and souls. Actually, hold on. Here, you talk about something real quick. I gotta go read this.
Oh yeah, okay. Just talk about something real quick.
You can do it. I believe in you.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not quite sure because not all what I have to say is positive or not.
Who cares?
Positive.
It doesn't have to be positive.
No, I just went through an incredible amount of work.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be positive.
It was very challenging. I don't know if I'm meant for the convention life. I just found it to be a lot. It was very overstimulating. Everybody I met was very cool. I'm almost finished with my Tremors 4. Cool.
Alex is almost done with his Tremors 4 movie.
It'd be cool to watch Tremors movies from somebody else.
Yeah, right? He's got 4 of them.
Yeah?
Hell yeah, man. Ass blasting slaves one. No, it doesn't have to be like if it was hard for you, you could talk about. Like,
it was hard. That was one of the hardest things
Our
I've ever
recap isn't
done.
just like the fun thing. That's why we were talking about like Las Vegas being shit and how hard it was, like getting actually started. Like
no, the whole convention thing.
I hate it too.
The exchanging the money and the signatures and the.
Oh my god, no!
Oh my gosh, it is a lot.
No,
and nothing against anybody I talked to that day because
no,
everyone was lovely.
Yeah.
No, there was no like. It wasn't like people were being rude or pushy. Everyone was very patient and kind, and it's just that was my first foray into anything like that. And I jumped in head fucking first, and I didn't super have a choice because it was something that needed to be done, and there was no one else to do it. And so that made it even harder. And then I realized literally like 20 minutes into it, I hate this. I do not like this. I don't want to do this. This is something I know now that I don't ever want to do.
Nope.
I don't want to be on the other side of the table at a convention. I will go and spend way too much money on stuff I don't need. I don't want to do anything.
You don't want to be a famous person on the other side. Like, yeah.
I don't want to have to handle any money.
Money is terrible.
I don't want to have to handle any money where it's not me doing the serve. That sounds like sex work. It's not like that.
No, that's fine.
It's fair. Like, you pay somebody for their signature, right?
Or their photo.
Or or a combination of both.
In fact, it's much like sex work where you're paying someone for their time.
Yeah. Yeah. And then that person sets like what they think their time is worth, which I love because I think it's a great way for people like Finn and Michael to make a bunch of money really quick and easy.
If fans want to spend it, go for it, man.
And they do. Like, I literally considered spending whatever Morgan Fairchild was charging to go and talk to her and get her freaking like picture. Because it's like, oh my God, that's hilarious. I grew up watching her too. It
was
like,
adorable.
Yeah.
That was the only time all day she was like, Levi, Morgan Fairchild's over there.
She was literally sitting
like, right there.
So like, if okay, so there's a curtain here.
Like, so yeah,
her back was on the other side of that curtain.
Us, and then Morgan Fairchild's over here.
She was right there, and her face looked like a porcelain doll. Like she looked like she did back on the show from I don't even remember what show she was on, but like, oh my God, I could not believe it was weird. It was just really weird. All right, but I very quickly realized that I would love to be a part of the convention life, but I don't want to do the vending part. I think I don't know if I could ever do that again.
I don't even know if I want to do either part.
I mean, I would maybe help out a friend, like if they needed a help out in like a pinch or whatever.
Oh, we should talk about coffee filters.
You want to know what though? It did have a little coffee maker. It had a beautiful like glass case,
whole area with little glass like.
But no microwave.
But the actual convention life, no, I don't.
It's just not for me.
No.
It's not. But I got to learn that about myself, and I've always kind of wondered like what it was like. Very overwhelming, very not overstimulating, but very just
because it's like hundreds of people, like all walking around in like a little tiny area, and you're interfacing at every single moment with somebody, like making eye contact because you never know if someone's like.
And it's hard to hear.
Most of the time, the people there are all super autistic, so trying
to say different neurodivergences,
the cues right, and make sure that like you're paying attention to everyone as you actually need to be paying attention to them.
And of course, it's like a convention hall, so it's echoey. It's very loud. I can't hear anything anyone is saying, and it was one of the hardest things. I work at a pharmacy, okay? Like I work at a pharmacy in 2025, like American life. I would work by myself at the pharmacy with no other help. And that would be easier than what I did that day. Yeah. And I can't quite explain why. It was just something I wasn't prepared to do. I didn't realize how hard it was. I have a huge newfound respect for anybody that does do it. And I'm talking about like the handling part of it, like the money, and then like you're
handlers are lifesavers.
Handlers
most of the time they're volunteers.
Are lifesavers. Yeah. And I find that you couldn't pay me enough money to do something like that. And they're doing it voluntarily. Nope.
Well, I think you
not
said
in a million years.
You said the pharmacy as like a comparison at a regular, even like, so your pharmacy or Walmart or anywhere that you're usually checking out goods, there's like a line and there's a very contained process to that line. and you don't at a convention. It is literally like bodies just swirling
everywhere, all over the place.
Oh, and here you go. Oops. Oh, nope. Almost left the studio. That was close. You get used to it. We just did Columbia, California, June 6th through 8th, Simi Valley. Last year was over 18,000 people for the weekend. I'm a mental health.
Wow, no kidding.
It's totally different. Wow.
That is a difference.
That is a lot.
That's crazy. No, medical, and that's no joke.
Yeah.
Mad respect for that.
Sean's here. I love you, Sean. We'll talk about Don't Make It Weird later. Actually, I'm surprised we didn't get to it earlier. It's right here at the top, baby. Chase Holdu. That's who that is.
Oh.
Yeah, it's on YouTube, Sean, too. I know you're over there. People everywhere. And yeah, it's just, I really respect it as a thing. I just know it's not my thing. Like,
I do.
I'm with her on that, where it's like, I am good. There's a lot of people that ask me to help them facilitate things with that in the future. And I'm like, so look, I'm going to, but I do not plan to set foot at, physically at another one of these. Woo, mad respect.
Yeah, medical billing and coding. I get that. That's no joke. But no, I really like conventions. I like the quick money aspect of it. You make quick money for somebody who, has been on TV for, when was Family Ties? What was that, Michael Gross's first? I don't know. Just someone who's been in the business for a really long time and doesn't
or even Finn.
Yeah, I don't know. Just
boom, that 40,
it's a
50
quick
bucks
way to make
pop,
money, and I just really appreciate that.
Boop, 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 lines up, and it's really nice. As a way of supplementing that income later on in the years, because there's 18,000 people. Holy shit!
18,000 people. That's exactly right. And if 18,000 people stopped by and paid $50 a pop.
Well, you wouldn't get that, but
I know, but that's,
you look at that number in terms of just
it's good money for doing very little. So it's,
yeah.
I have a huge respect for cons.
Respect, yes.
I just don't know if I'd ever want to be a part of.
We don't have to. We've got other skills.
Yeah, I don't know. I would try it again in a different circumstance, where I didn't have to do anything and I could just roam around and again spend way too much money on things that I don't need, because there was plenty there that I could have bought. Woo!
Oh, see, we barely made 198 at Pasadena, but had a good time with Allison and watching everywhere. Okay. See, it fluctuates. See? Okay.
So it just kind of depends on what you're doing and
where
who's
you're
there.
At and who's going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Duly noted.
Very interesting.
Everyone. So I was going to say, I got to talk to Rod. That was my one. I went downstairs for this DVD.
Tell your thing.
I had to, because it was really cool. Because honestly, I tire of talking Tremors with them, because it's you're more than that. We finally got to tell Michael Gross that Family Ties is awesome. That was
because it is.
It is
the best.
I hate that I haven't watched that sooner.
We love Family Ties.
And then Ben over here. I love working cons. I actually really enjoy being planted at my table and having people come to me. And hey, Roby, what's up?
I would like that too.
Yeah, there's a focusedness to it. If you were just to sit there. But no, Ron and I were talking. I had Mighty Joe Young. I saw that in theaters and loved that movie. But then I had to tell him how much I love Heart and Souls. Which if you've never watched it, with Robert Downing Jr. and Tom Sizemore and Keira Sedgwick and Alfrea Woodard and Charles Grodin and Elizabeth Shue. I think that's Elizabeth Shue. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Directed by Ron, written by Steve and Brent.
It's awesome.
I fucking love this movie.
It made me cry.
This is a great goddamn movie. But Ron was telling me that you can't get it on streaming or on DVD. And I was like, oh my God. I actually went home and looked up, you can't get it on DVD. This is a Blu-ray. And then he told me there's a special one that looks like a VHS too. So I got to shout it out. Get the Heart and Souls Blu-ray on VHS. I don't even know if we have a Blu-ray player, but I bought it just because. I love you, Ron, if you're out there somewhere. Maybe.
It'll help Ron in a weird way that we won't understand, but.
Actually, he said his granddaughter was the one that turned him on to it.
Oh.
That they couldn't find it on streaming. His granddaughter wanted to watch it. And so his daughter was like, hey, where do I watch it, Dad? And she's, oh, wait, you can't. So score.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. It's a beautiful thing. Here comes, this is where the ramp up happens. All right.
Here comes the turn.
This is all legitimately all just lead up.
It's true, because this next part is literally the whole reason
we're hanging out there, Ron and Glenn and Michael and Finn and Kaitlin and I. And then what I did starts to take effect. See, exactly. I think the first
start
one to show
gymming the
up
camera
was
now.
Javi Mulero. Showed up, who's the Argentinian producer from Tremors 3. Really funny, energetic guy. Actually, I really just liked hanging out with him.
He was cool.
He was super excited just to be there and just was like, oh, so I just like get to hang out back here. It's like, yeah, man, you're part of the crew. And then Craig Campobasso showed up, who was the Tremors 3 casting director. And then those two, which I didn't even think about it. Obviously, the casting director would know the actor, and so then they just started hooking up and talking. I had them written all down in order, and then Ivo Cristante showed up, who's the set designer for Tremors 1 and Tremors 2. And honestly, I was trying to talk his ear off as like someone that built stuff. Like, yo, bro, like, can you just come on my show? We can talk about how you built the whole town, just all of it, like from scratch. I want to hear every nail and board in detail. Actually, he would have told me too. We were actually talking a lot.
He had a lot of stories.
He did. And then fucking Victor Brown showed up. I know. Shut up. I can tell you want to talk about Victor Brown.
I
so
do, because it was so weird.
Like,
So I'm sitting there dealing with all this money and all these people. And
I mean, I love Javi and Craig and Evo, but no, we got to talk about Victor Brown.
And you have to understand, like, I'm in a situation where it's a table, like, Michael Gross is sitting here and I'm here. Okay, like I'm in a corner crowding Michael Gross while he's trying to work and do business. Okay, so I'm like
literally, actually, no. I'm Kaitlin. She's Michael Gross. That's how close it is.
It's true. Like we're literally this, okay?
Shoulder to shoulder.
Like I could have reached out and touched him if I wanted. So I'm like crowding Finn. Like I'm like, Finn, I gotta be over here.
I can't be near Michael.
Because like I can't be crowding him like this. While I'm doing that, I look over and Victor Brown, one of the most handsome people I have ever seen in real life, is standing right on the other side of Michael Gross. Like literally like right there.
Oh my God.
And I literally started being weird and like making my I was like, Levi.
Ladies, bisexual people, anybody of any attraction.
He's so pretty.
If you've watched Tremors the series, Victor Brown is still that hot.
Oh my God, he's so pretty and so nice.
Oh my God,
he's such a cool, nice, like humble guy.
That's the hottest part, is that like the personality is always more like is much more attractive than how like someone. It's true. I don't know. That's my like. And he was. Oh my God, he was so sweet, so down to earth and chill and fucking cool.
He again was another just really excited to be there and be a part of what was going on. He didn't really understand any of it, but he was like, this is cool. I like know all of these people and I haven't seen them in ever. He just had I think he might have had the most fun.
Nostalgia. It's true. Out of like everybody, he was like, "Well,
he was so cool. So cool."
He ended up asking me at one point because like Finn and Michael are like getting paid to sign stuff, and he comes over and he's like, "Hey man, am I supposed to like be asking people for money for these?"
Like
and I'm like, "Well, actually, Victor, I would.
We can work.
I kind of would." Appreciate if you did. I don't really want you to be signing anything, and that goes for all like everybody. Like I don't really want you to be signing it for free, but I don't know how to facilitate that at this current moment in time. But it was. He's like, I get it, man. Sorry, I had a moment with him where, having watched Tremors the series as much as I have, that I had to physically. Because I had talked to him and it's like setting up with everybody that it's like, hey, I like to introduce myself. If I've never met them before, like, hey, I'm Levi. We talked before and all that. With Victor, I had to like, I was looking him in the eyes and I was like, hey, yeah, so Vic, hold on, but I'm going to need like about 5 seconds here because my brain knows that you're not like the actor from the TV show, but you look exactly like you did back then. And so I'm just, hold on, let me reset. Okay, you're a real person. And he's like, oh, no, it's fine, man. I get it. I was like, God damn it. Dude.
We have watched that freaking TV show so many times.
But he was super cool. Like, he just in general, like.
Crazy weird.
Ended up, he was like thirsty. I was like, hey, let me get you a Diet Coke. And he was even like, wait, you can just do that for me? I'm like, yeah, I'll just go buy you fucking like Diet Coke, dude. It's like right over, like, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But adorable,
2 thumbs up,
beautiful magic man.
I didn't get my picture with him, but there's time.
He photobombed me on a couple. I was
there is time. I will get a picture with that man.
Me, like,
I cannot
like
wait.
This. I was like, so, and Jeff. Oh my God, I forgot Jeff. like Jeffrey Johnson.
Oh yeah,
from
he was
the
cool
TV
too.
show.
Yeah.
Fucking love that guy. JJ, hugs and kisses. That's always how he like signs off on things.
No, he was cool too.
Fucking he was also photobombing. So then by the end of it, we got like Gladys and Leela and Victor, and then Robert Jane was there, and everybody was expecting pictures with like those four. But Jeffrey Johnson was in the TV show too, so he kept
being like, I want to be
sneaking, like he's like sneaking into the picture. And I was I was encouraging him. I'm like, no, like do it, because you are in the TV show, and it's hilarious that like you're kind of the bad guy in there. So like you doing it in the back, it's just hilarious.
He was so nice too.
He was super chill. I fucking love that dude.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mike, oh my god, and then Mike Malone showed up, which was out of everybody, the one person I was really like looking forward to meeting to.
We like Mike Malone.
I fucking love you, Mike, wherever you are out there. I should have sent this to him. He probably would have been watching.
You never know. He might be. He's kind of a magical like being like that.
1 second.
Nah, we like Mike.
I didn't even think about that. Mike Malone. Where you at? Hold on. And I'm sorry. I'm stopping this. Look, because he's so cool. I fucking love Mike.
Like, bringing this to a grinding halt.
No, there's not dead air on this show. It's still air.
Don't get me started about still
Mike's
water.
been on the show, like legitimately, and I want him back on another episode. But he's also the one that hooked me up with Lori Hudson, our alternate friend who we can go live down with in Santa Fe if we want to, whenever we're ready. But then also huge friends with Finn. And it was actually Finn that got me hooked up with Mike Malone, which set a whole bunch of other things. Like Mike Malone is key to much of this day, like in a really great way. And he is just as stupid and goofy and funny in real life as I thought he'd be. As he said on the panel, he's like, I'm Mike Malone. I was set dresser at Tremors 1 and 2 and honorary class clown of the shoot. I was like, but yeah, you were, man. Who else? And then hold on, I got my list here. So Mike and Jeff, and then it was those. Yeah. So then Gladys and Leela showed up, and that was a beautiful screen moment with them like finally getting to meet Victor. Them like Michael, Gladys, Leela, and Victor like had this moment of them just like swapping the story. I have a video of it. I don't even want to look at the video because it's a rare time I was like snapping photos.
The pictures are really cool.
And their faces were just like, everybody was lighting up. It was beautiful and amazing. And I have to say, so Gladys wasn't originally going to be there, but I had like called her up and like convinced her like, hey, so like Victor and Leela and Michael's going to be there and all this and that. And like, I mean, you should totally do it. It would be a good idea. And she was kind of iffy on it. And she had a plane date for like later in the week. And I ended up being like, hey, come on, like, let's do it. And she called me back like the next day, like, you know what? Guess who decided to get a plane a bit early? Yeah, I love it.
Here.
What were you looking for? Oh.
No, I actually found it.
Oh, I could have pulled it up. Like,
no, I got it. Can't really see it though. See?
There it is. Yeah.
And then, so that was just like one of the pictures that Levi, and then look, Jeff Johnson in the background of that one, you can actually see.
I know, him just creeping.
But I mean, that's just one of the photos that Levi got that day.
It was such a good moment.
It was such a cool, like, I don't know. It was just, that's just one of many photos that I got that are literal pure joy.
I could not stop, like, clicking. Like, legitimately. Alec is talking about his Tremor sequels. I was gonna say, if you want to pull up anything, like, bring them up.
I will.
And then, so
then we need to
we're going. Look, actually, we're about halfway. We're rolling good. And then John Goodwin showed up. I actually had to go up front because I had to keep giving people names all day because, like, I had so many people coming and they just weren't prepared for it. So I had to keep giving them names up front. And while I went up one time, John Goodwin was there, who plays one of the construction workers, Carmine, in the first movie. Longtime friend of Steve Wilson. And he's really sweet. He was kind of really goofy and funny too. And then this was an extra one, and I was like fighting hard for this. Alexander Guzinski showed up, like cinematographer for Tremors, with the producer of Tremors, Ellen Collette, too. Like, and she was trying to be all cognito and shit. I was like, girl, I know you. I watched the documentaries.
You can't get away from Levi. Levi knows every fucking buddy.
What are you doing?
Even if you don't know, Levi knows.
I know. All of this leading up to what I thought was the best get of all. And Mike Malone And we had been talking before, him and me had been talking about trying to get Mike Tapuzzi in there, who was the first assistant director for Trevor. And like absolutely integral guy. Like he harped on like everybody to keep that fucking like production moving. Like you could see it in Steve's tape. And we ended up getting his number and calling him, and they like gave me the phone. Levi, tell Mike what to do. Okay, Mike, this you gotta come to the thing with it, give the name. We'll pull you right in. Everything's fine. And not like 30 minutes later, Mike Tapuzzian shows up.
He showed up literally and walked into the line that we were making to go into the panel.
Yep.
People turned around and were like, whoa, what the fuck?
And Zoran showed up at that time, too.
Zoran and Megan
and Phoenix. Phoenix.
Yes.
And then we went, and I was going to say, there's other people. I got to talk about some fans. We'll get to that point later. But like, literally 16 people, I think, went to this panel. Like,
I think the number was 14.
Yeah.
14. Like they had 4 chairs. No, 5. They had 5 chairs set up because that was what they thought they needed. And then that poor woman that was helping run things, she's like, yeah, we've kind of had to like make a second row because there's so many people here to talk on the panel. They weren't expecting all of that. And I was like, yeah, that's definitely down to Levi. That's all down to Levi.
I regret nothing.
No, because I will say this again, because I know I said it before. I've watched a lot of Tremors panels. I've watched Tremors too many times to count. I have watched it at home. I have watched it in a theater with the people who have actually been in it. I have watched commentaries. I have watched literally everything about Tremors that you could and whatever. That panel was one of the best panels that I've ever watched.
It was really weird and
it shouldn't have been, because it was completely chaotic. Like there was literally quadruple the amount of people that the interviewers were expecting. And those guys,
that was one of the shout outs I wanted.
What were their names again?
Zach Schaefer and Corey Stevenson.
Holy
Podcasting After Dark and $2 late fee.
They were amazing.
Those 2 dudes, and I hope Zach or Corey.
Amazing.
I know Zach and I are friends on Facebook.
Holy shit!
Like seriously,
they should not have done as well as they did.
Oh my!
However, they both knew everything about Tremors. And what's crazy about it is once they found out what their names were, they knew who every single one of those people on stage, they knew who they were. And if they didn't, they wanted to know more.
Oh, yeah.
Those 2 interviewers,
everyone
got the microphone. We went a little bit over time, but not that much. Those interviewers, fucking, they were like the heroes for me, because
Zach is gonna.
That shouldn't have been as good as it was.
He's gonna have Don Michael Paul on his podcast.
Ah, man, I would watch that because you made a fan for life.
Yeah,
I'll just say
seriously.
That. Like that was
Zach or Corey, if you're watching.
Wow,
honestly,
wow,
that was really well done.
You took something very challenging and you made it into something really, really special. And I don't think anyone could have just done that.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Very good. Very good job.
Very,
very, very, very good stuff.
And that was a fun panel too. Tremors has come a long way. That was my favorite part of the panel was the Ron and Finn reenacting.
I think I got that on video.
Graboid bit. You do. I need to like upload yours
because I have some really interesting pictures of when that's happening and their faces are. No, you want to know? You want to know? I actually got a lot out of that panel. You want to know what my favorite? My favorite part was towards the end. Michael Gross was talking about Bert and about just crazy motherfucker that Bert Gummer is. But he said something, and I've watched Tremors so many times I had never thought about it like this. Bert Gummer is always going to help you out in whatever situation you get into. He's going to tell you that you're a fucking idiot and that you should have listened to him from the beginning. But he's always going to help you out because he's just that kind of guy. And he absolutely is. I've never thought about Bert that way. Yes, I've thought about him like rubbing it in people's faces when he's right. Because he does do that. But
I love
he always saves their asses as much as he can every single time.
I love to say that this is how little Kaitlin listens to this show because I talk about that like all the time.
Well, guess
Because
what?
it's really apparent. Like that's
It really.
I'm not. That's not a
Yeah,
dig
but
on you.
was
That's
Michael
more of a,
Gross
like,
saying it to you?
Oh yeah, it's a thing.
That's
like,
why it rung true to me, because if anybody is going to say it and it be true, it's Michael Gross. He's obviously thought about it.
Like that's why he likes the character.
That's why he sticks with that character. That's why he continues to do conventions and talk to crazy Tremors fans, and he loves it. Like, that's the whole point.
Like that's a good character though too. Like somebody that like, look, you're an idiot and an asshole, but I'm still gonna try to help you. Like that's huge.
Well, and now that we know like his range of acting, because we've been watching Family Ties, like
Family Ties is dope.
I can't think of anybody more different from Burt Gummer than Steve Keaton.
Like yeah,
Like they're opposite, like polar opposite characters,
Acting.
and he did them both like as only he could do. So.
So panel went great, honestly.
The panel was awesome.
It was really good. I'm going to stop for a moment and do a personal bit of gloating. That's not often done on this show.
This is Levi's gloat section. We need to get, if you're going to do this, you got to get like a
soundboard?
Don't Make It Weird soundboard.
Don't Make It Weird. It's story time with Levi Soros.
It's time to drink.
That's later.
I'm just gonna start doing that. Gotta make a shout out to our internet friends. We
Yeah,
love
at
them
the
a
Don't
lot.
Make It Weird podcast. That's where the olive jar is from. What's up? And yes, that's technically you have to eat an olive because I mentioned the podcast.
Why do I have to eat an olive? I mean,
That's how it works.
I love olives.
You gotta eat it with your left hand too.
You just good. You just got this out of the fridge right now,
Yes,
right? Okay.
yes. Oh my god. No, that's gross. I always make sure they're
And
cold.
yes, I am right-handed, so I do
All right.
need to eat with my left
So
hand.
I have to do a bit of personal gloating because
Right.
it's really more of a
I want to look for another picture.
this I need to have this stated. So the panel is sort of ending, and some girl in the audience had talked about Glenn and the official Tremors franchise fans group as being good things. That's a look. I have my issues. Like, oh, they're such good things, and then Zach and Corey also did it. Like, hey, thank you to Glenn and this Facebook group for putting all this together today. And I'm sitting there actually I wasn't recording at this time. I was silently trying not to blow my brains out because it did hurt. I was like, oh yeah, way to go, somebody who didn't do anything. But then I'm going to pull this up as a photo. This is literally the end of the panel. Like everybody's getting up and stuff. Mike Malone, right after this whole like, oh, we're going to thank Glenn for doing everything, blah, blah, blah. Glenn's great. Mike Malone gets up, grabs the microphone and says, actually, I would like to stop all of this to thank right back there, Levi. Levi is the one that got all of us up here on stage to be here today. So we should stop and thank them for everything that they've done. I was like, why am I not recording this? And hold on.
This is Mike Malone.
Oh, I was going to say, oh, there's Mike. Oh, I love that dude.
I know, he's really nice.
And here is the moment. So this is Mike, like physically pointing me out. And if you see, like everybody is looking back in a direction, like they're legitimately looking at me. Where that Pasadena Comic-Con is, that's where I was standing. And they're all, everybody on stage and everywhere, just staring at me. Because I'm like, yeah, I did do this. So what's up? And I didn't get it on video, but it was dope. So I thank you, Mike Malone, so much for giving me the appropriate credits for that day. Because it was a lot. I did get everybody. And then like holding it together. And I have to say, so then there was Randy Carter, who's a like longtime like Tremors fan, actually called me the glue of that table. And I really appreciate that. Like, dude, so cool. And I have to say, I love like watching, I love good people and recognizing them. And you're one of them. Bravo. And I must say, so then the other ones are Afro Pugsley, wherever you at. I love you, buddy.
It's true. We love you.
I love you, dude. And Joshua Pruitt and Scott Peterson, who are two writers from Phineas and Ferb, who are working on some of the Tremors comics we got doing for the Tremors zine. They were really cool too. I've been talking to them for so long. I've been talking to Josh for so long that to actually like meet him in person, really lovely guy. Oh my god, all of them. I was trying to think of other fans. I can't remember if there's any like specific fans I knew that I met there. But it was Randy, Afro, Josh, and Scott. Like, fucking love you guys. Which leads me to then my biggest one, Zoran and Megan. Honestly, it's Zoran and Megan, not just like Zoran. But I love Megan like
the
so
fact
much.
that we have those two as friends is just like, I still can't believe that we know them.
I have a text chain with Zoran, and I'm just like, I don't know how to feel about that. That's cool.
Like, they're so lovely and wonderful, and I just love them so much. And the fact that they're in our lives is crazy. Like, we're so lucky to know them, and then like they wanted to hang out with us and take us out to dinner. True, yeah. Like, I don't know, they're the absolute best. Highlight for me.
Zoran, Michael, and I were all talking. Like Michael Gross, we're all talking about like Perfection Fest and Tremors Fest and doing stuff. And I have to say this, Michael Gross is confused why there's not a Tremors Fest in Santa Fe. He like legitimately was asking Zoran and I, like, what's happening? Why is there no Tremors Fest in Santa Fe anymore? And we're like, Michael, I thought you didn't want to do it. Like, I was like, dude, I had been told you didn't want to. What is going on behind the scenes? And actually, to that note, I have to say this. So there's a point when Craig Campobasso showed up, and Michael Gross, he kept having, he always has incredulity when it comes to me, because I can tell he's like, who are you? What are you doing? Like, what are you getting out of this? And I'm like, nothing, Michael. It's just fun. Where Michael was talking to Craig Campobasso, and he's like, what are you doing here? How do you like, like, not like in a bad way, but he's just like, how did you get here, and what are you doing? And Craig was like, oh yeah, Levi like told me about it and like let me know and stuff. And I was honestly trying to keep my distance from Michael because he was very focused. I was just trying to stay out of his way. And this was the rare time I was like right next to him listening to this conversation, and Michael Gross like looking at Craig and then looks over at me and goes, yeah, Levi knows everybody. I was like, God damn it. Yes, I was listening. I'm sorry. And I do know everybody. So thank you. I appreciate good work. He did. It was just like, Levi knows everybody. God damn it, Michael.
Because you do. Like,
I do. I try to
know way too many people. And
well, I love seeing, and that was the best part, was seeing them all like reconnect after so long. Like, oh, it was just, my heart it grew 8 sizes that day. But yeah, Zoran, and then honestly, actually, Kaitlin was dealing with Finn. Do you want to talk about that? What was your experience? Really. We were after the panel, we were trying to get Finn Carter back to the table, and that just was not happening.
It was just not the day. It was not the day.
To the point where Zoran and Megan had like invited us out to dinner, and I was gonna like take Finn with, but I was like,
I'm really glad we did that though,
because is she gonna appear? Like, I'm not sure. Like,
no, I'm really glad that we made that work out, because I would have been really sad if we hadn't gotten to at least hang with them for like half an hour or whatever it was.
It was nice. We went to a little Mexican restaurant like down the block, and Finn talked most of the time. It was kind of adorable. Actually, Finn and Megan did, and Zoran was just kind of like, "What?
I'm eating like dinner
like
with
him, and I were sitting next to each other, and he kept like giving me this look, like, Levi, what are you doing? What is this? It's the same thing that Michael was doing. Like, clearly, you mean me no harm. I'm just very confused right now. Like, what is this?
He's so like.
Well, they're both dads. They both got that dad energy, so it like works for that.
I don't know, like they're just so friendly and like kind and wonderful.
I ended up talking to Zoran because I told him I was a contractor, and he's like, it was really funny. It's like, so hey, so you're like a contractor, right? Like, yeah. So do you guys just try to rip people off on purpose, or like what?
Zing.
And then he ended up telling me like they're doing a remodel on their house, like they just bought a house, and they're doing a whole addition and shit. And I was like, oh no, we don't try to. At least I don't know about you LA people.
I can't imagine contractors out in LA. I bet they're ripping people off left and right.
Yeah. And then we were sharing like house. I was showing him my work. He was showing him theirs. And then Phoenix was there just bumping around and shit. Megan was talking about doing like old, like she used to consult for like festivals and stuff. Like, so doing cons is very much in her blood and shit. Like,
It's fascinating to listen to them talk.
Yeah. And then Finn's just talking about living in Pasadena all this time. Like, honestly, I didn't say much. I was just sitting there, like, enjoying. Wow. Oh, okay.
Just enjoying the company.
This is interesting.
Zoran, Gavoychik, and Megan, and Finn Carter, and Levi and Kaitlin.
I have that picture. I do need to post that picture of the four of us and the baby too. I gotta blur out.
I actually have here. I got. I don't want to dox the baby, but yes, make sure you put a little sticker over his face.
Well, that was funny. I sent Zoran some. I was taking pics of him and Michael, like because Zoran was showing him the little baby, like his little graboid costume, and I was getting like pics and videos of them, and I sent them to Zoran, and he used them all on like his post to like crop shit. I was like, oh,
now that you want to talk about fucking cute as shit.
Yeah, that was
God, because Zoran was dressed up as Bert, and then
that was so good.
Megan was Heather Gummer, and then the baby was a little baby graboid. That was one of my favorite things.
And Michael actually initiated that conversation. It was kind of like Michael got up like when he saw Zoran. It was like, oh hey, like yeah, let's talk.
I did the same thing. Like he came up behind me, and I was literally like, because he came up and he did one of these where he was like, hey, there's a lot of people up there. And it was like, Zoran and Megan and the baby. Like it was just so exciting to see them. So we don't ever get to see them. We don't live anywhere near.
Oh, I know.
So the fact that they were sitting behind me, it made my day.
I did make Zoran and Michael's eyes light up when we were talking about Tremors Fest. I was like, I want to take it to like Chicago, and they were both like, wait, what? I'm like, yeah, I know you guys like are from there, so I kind of want. It's closer for me
to physically. So much driving.
And I know Steve was also like from Chicago, and Michael and Zoran, so it's like,
man, we could really tear some shit up in Chicago.
Yeah, maybe. So and then went to and then we did interpretive dancing with Finn in the middle of. I don't know what the fuck that was. Finn got told to stop smoking, which is we were outside. That was very confusing for me.
Look, it's I don't know.
I don't know either. That was very confusing for me.
There's a series of pictures. I'll just pick one of my favorites.
Series of them.
It's pretty nuts.
It was
like I don't.
We were watching some other girl with like an anime costume doing like.
I mean, here's one of them.
Dance. Yeah.
Here's one.
Yeah, there we go.
And it was on this beautiful, like, painted whatever.
Here, while you're doing that,
I mean, I have. You guys were singing. You were doing the 30 Rock.
This little light of mine.
And like Finn did not get like what you were doing, but she definitely we
all know
went for
song.
it.
I was trying to
and
go
so
with it.
I literally just like stood there and I took a video and I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, what is happening? What? It was.
And hold on, you can't see the baby's face, but there's little Zorbor. Jesus Christ. Hold on. I can't tell if the camera's. Hold on, maybe that's just my. What did I do?
Levi.
We're good. We're fine. Everything's
Stop
fine.
touching things.
We're good. We're back. Does it work now? Oh yeah. Look at that. Happy Tremors family. Adorables.
Yes.
We look good in our matching shirts too.
Here, one last one.
It was good.
This was the end. This was the big finale.
Yep.
It was like a 5-minute long production.
Look, Finn Carter asked you to like do an interpretive dance in the middle of like a square.
Well, the thing is, she started doing an interpretive dance, and I was like, "Oh my god! Like, are we gonna get in trouble?" Like, I wasn't quite sure that other people were gonna take the interpretive dance the way that it was meant to.
It's California. Nobody gives
I get it, but if I'd walked up on something like that, even in California, I would have been like,
what is this?
What's going on? What's going on?
Honestly, no, it's California. Nobody gives a shit.
Well, look, everything was very funny. Very, very funny.
Here, if you want to pull up pictures while I'm talking. So then we pulled Magnolia off of Jasmine, or Jasmine off a Magnolia tree because Finn wanted to smell.
Which it
and
did.
Brett Brett knew exactly what that was when I gave him it.
It was very nice. It smelled great.
We did take produce and fruits and vegetables out of California. Again, insane.
Yeah, come at us. or whatever.
Jesus Christ. Sorry. Oh, wow. I'm just reading the things that I actually like wrote down here. I'm like, dinner with Soren, exploring Pasadena with Finn. What are these things? So then we went back to the hotel, and I really wanted to do this recap episode with Finn Carter in the hotel.
Nope.
That became not a great option.
She kind of like fucked off, didn't she? And like,
no, she went
like, exploring.
She had feelings about people that weren't in anything but Tremors 1.
Oh,
like she didn't fully understand
yeah.
like the rest, like the importance of the rest of the series, and she was just confused. Like she's just trying.
She's never seen them before. She's never seen any of the other.
Why anybody else would like have attachment to it, and we were like Tremors 1 is great. These other ones kept it like going. Like that's the whole like. All these people, like there's time and effort here, and I was like, you know what, we're not going to do an episode because I feel it probably would have been Finn just like trashing everybody, and I'm like, we don't need to do that. Love you, Finn, you're great.
She just needs to watch all the other stuff.
It's true. That's what we kept saying. Like if you watched it, you'd probably understand.
If I hadn't seen any of the other movies, or even if like I hadn't done like the whole journey from with the 5, 6, and 7 and the TV show and whatever, I wouldn't understand it. Like
it's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot to remember, and it's a lot to like keep track of.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to if it wasn't for you. You have your Jill trap memory. It's a lot to remember.
So we were gonna do, and then we all honestly we
slept for like 25 hours.
We slept until noon the next day, pretty much, and that was Finn too. And Finn sleeps like I was actually concerned because she like sleeps like this. Like falls asleep sitting up.
Yeah, sitting up.
And I kept being like, I want to
like push her over. Well, then I was afraid I was going to wake her up, so then I just didn't.
But... I did, but it was like everything we're good. I love you too. You need a power couple mashup name. Thoughts from the chat. I'll throw.
Sounds like Cleveland.
We're gonna go with Cleveland.
Cleveland rocks. I just watched that video.
Cleveland rocks. Cleveland.
Anybody Drew Carey show fans? Go to YouTube and type in Drew Carey show opening. Watch it.
Most of the
you'll feel great
on this chat are old enough to know.
Everybody's at least heard of the Drew Carey show. A, it was great. B, that theme song. It's killer. God damn it! This fucking camera. It's one of the. No, that theme song is one of the best ones.
I did sing a song too. Hold on.
Technically I did too. Damn it.
Right?
We're lucky I like Olive.
That's why they're there. So yeah, we were all.
I slept for a really long time.
But we got up the next day, and really, I just wanted to like explore Pasadena with Finn because that's where she's like from.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to where her old house was. That had like it hadn't got burnt down, but everything else it was. So we went. It was dark. That's how late. Like we were all fucking. Jesus.
It was like 9:00 at night when we did this.
Like we may have woke up at noon.
We actually went to
this
really cool Thai place where I got the best noodles and I got to eat with chopsticks.
I never had
Thai. Where are those chopsticks?
They're in my bag.
Okay. I just really.
Yeah, the green ones. Yeah, hell yeah.
No, I got to eat with chopsticks and it was really cool and I did a good job and I didn't spill anything and
He hasn't seen Drew Carey show.
Ooh, you should. You should.
Yeah.
It's great. It's got Ryan Stiles and that one funny guy who I can't think of his name.
Diedrich Bader.
And
it's Jordan from Scrubs.
Krista Miller.
There we go.
Married to Bill Lawrence. Mm-hmm. And who is the lady that played Mimi? The bigger lady. God,
then I would have said
funny.
Colin Ferguson.
Yeah, he's on there too. No, that cast is great.
Literally, we're just naming cast members of the Drew Carey show now.
Funny people. I don't know. Just watch it. It holds up. It's great.
But we went to Thai food, delicious, and then we drove around Pasadena, like
in the dark.
It was dark, so we were trying to like find the house, and we found the house because Finn knew exactly where everything was. We didn't realize how like burned everything was around initially because it was dark, but then we start like because they have a lot of high hedges, and stuff like down there, like
privacy.
So you don't really see like houses immediately, and then we saw houses or lack of houses. Like then you're noticing like
Like,
Oh
there's
wait,
nothing
there's a couple. I
here.
see lights past that when there should be a blockage there. Oh
Yeah, there's
shit.
nothing there. There's
Like-
a huge lot with a bunch of nothing.
And it was tons of it. It did. Like
There
it would
was
skip, it would
hazard
jump,
signs
and, like,
everywhere.
it was wild.
eerie.
It was really terrifying.
It was really eerie.
I'm glad we went at night.
I don't know. I would have started crying, I think,
I
during
think
the day.
seeing that in the day would have been pretty sad.
I remember seeing like the videos and stuff on the internet, and it was like sad enough. But like, yeah, no, that was dark.
Mm-hmm. And then I knew that Robert Jane owned a bar like nearby.
God, we did do that, didn't we?
We did. And so Robert Jane owns a bar called the Barrel Tavern. They're all Pasadena, lost it somewhere.
I don't even know.
It was close. It was
in
like
Pasadena. It was 10 minutes
yeah.
away from where we were.
And so we went there, and I was like trying to text Robert and like call him, and he wasn't answering. Actually, the next day he was like, "Shit, you were at my bar? Oh, I fell asleep early. If I had known, I like would have met you guys down there." I'm like, "It's fine, man. Like we just."
Can you imagine if
we just wanted to go see? That would have been amazing.
God. That would have been.
It was a cool little bar. It was a little divey bar, like a very cool 80s vibe. We played cornhole in the back.
It had a back area where you could play games and smoke and stuff. And then there was this dude,
subs,
some dude making subs in the corner. But
Chris Andrew, I'm sorry I'm late, so you may have addressed this, but was there anything about the Pasadena reunion that you could copy to enhance the next Tremors Fest? Things they did worse. Actually, that was at the end, but we can do it now too. Barrel Tavern was great. I'll finish. And Finn ended up playing pool with a couple of people. It was
who were very, very into pool.
It was odd. All I could do was sit.
It was weird. That one guy was like, it feels like his personality was only playing
he was Russian
pool
or something, and he had a jacket, and he was.
We also walked in. Like the first thing that happened when we walked in was there was like
a guy getting kicked out. Yeah.
Yeah, he was like pounding on the table and being weird and shit. And the bouncer guy was like, "Get out! You gotta go! You're being too loud." And he was like, "What? I'm just having fun." No, you gotta go. And that was like literally the first thing that happened when we got in there. So
yes,
it's kind of exciting. Not gonna lie.
It was. That was like, okay, so this is what we're doing.
So we went to the back to just kind of be chill.
We did, and we, like I said, Finn and I played cornhole. That was good.
I have videos and pictures of that
I liked
too.
It was fun. But to answer your question, Chris, I'm not sure. Like, because they're two totally different things. Like Tremors Fest and the Pasadena Con. Like the Tremors part of the Pasadena Con was technically tiny.
Oh yeah, no, there was a lot more going on than the Ghostbusters were there.
Like 5%, maybe pushing.
Well,
it,
and here's
5%.
the thing: the only reason that it was that big is because you had everybody.
Yes.
There wasn't supposed to be that many people there, and from what I gathered from the people that ran it, they weren't expecting more than like 3 or 4 people to be.
I had been trying to tell. That's where I said the thing at the start of this,
which is hilarious.
I had been contacting them. Or at least trying to since November. And it was only, I got something in January, and then that's when the fires happened. And they told me they'd get back to me. Never got back to me. And then recently I was like, okay, well, these people are coming anyway. So, like, what can we do? And I was talking to a guy, and I don't think I was actually talking to a guy. Like, Finn kept asking, like, no, but like, who were you talking to? And I was like, is this like this person, like specifically? She's like, yeah, no, but like, who were you talking? I'm like, Finn, that's it. That's all it was. It was this one person, like back and forth. I don't have any more information. I did everything I could. But yeah, the Tremors part was just tiny. So I wouldn't even like transfer any of it. The only thing I would say is that like panels are better when it's only the people from that specific movie or that TV show, so they can all like bounce each other.
Again, the only reason that panel worked was because the 2 guys running it pivoted and made it, oh, this isn't just about Tremors 1. This is about Tremors as a whole.
Yeah.
And like they knew.
Which it was better for.
It was. And they realized it. And that's why they went so hard. That's why they did such a good job is they realized, oh my God, no, this is a big deal. Yeah. Like I have people here that I might never, ever be able to talk to or might never get a chance to speak. They picked up on that and then they ran with it. That's why that was such a success. Mm-hmm. And again, I'm going to say this for like the 4th time. It shouldn't have been as good as it was because those guys really shouldn't. They had like 14 people kind of expecting to talk and like share their story, and you only have, what was it, an hour?
We ended up an
55
hour 15, but yes, it was an hour. Yeah.
Yeah. So they got through everything. All of those people got to talk. Maybe not as much as they wanted or whatever, but no.
Everybody did.
That's the whole thing. That's one of the only reasons that worked.
Yeah.
You're really lucky those guys were there, because otherwise, with the wrong moderators, that could have been a train wreck.
They were impressive.
They really were. They were another highlight for me.
Mm-hmm. So I really hope them now. Lately.
I really hope that they can see this, or if I really want to get.
It might be. I was gonna say Zach is out there.
I would love a chance. I really wanted to talk to him that day, being like, "Look, that's a really like big crowd of people. Lots of big ego, like not egos, but like personalities, lots of stories, and like years of doing this, and you guys just like ran with that.
Mm-hmm.
Very impressive.
Made it fun and informative.
And they asked the right questions, and it was awesome. I can't stress that enough.
Like seriously, Zach
I really can't. Like that was again another highlight for me. Just those two, and Zorn and Megan.
This is true. Honestly, I love Zorn.
Zorn and Megan are number one for me. Always. They're always going
to hold Phoenix.
They're always going to be number one.
We were coloring on the map. It was. I'm sorry.
No, that child is
100% there's adorable.
And he's just utterly delightful.
So like I said, we were exploring Pasadena with Finn, and then we ended up like sort of ended the night on like the rooftop of the hotel, like just sitting there and smoking with Finn. That was odd. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, and that weird like dry pool. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Like all the way up on top. It was cool though. It was a nice vibe. And then Finn had to leave the next day, like early, like she had a really
early.
So I think we like barely said bye in the morning, and like she took off and left her absinthe there. But I don't know. Absinthe makes the heart grow drunker.
Nice.
What? And then we chilled. We had coffee in the morning at the little bar down there, and like left. I wanted to go to the ocean because we're close enough to the fucking ocean that like we at least have to like dip our toes in and do that.
Which we did.
Yep, I went full in the ocean because again, that's fine.
Oh,
it was not like, look, I'm gonna be honest. It was, I don't even know where we were, but
Santa Monica.
It was Santa Monica, yeah. Where Brent Maddock lives. We could have gone and seen Brent.
Well, no, we could see the pier, the Santa Monica Pier from where we were.
Yeah.
And that's why everyone was like there. It was fucking packed. But we were
very gray. I don't know if that was because of the day, but it
was overcast. Yeah, there was no sun. It was overcast.
It was a gray beach. But
yeah, there's no rain. It was just dreary.
And we got some food on the beach, and so this I have to say this is this is funny. No, okay.
Oh no.
So we ordered like some beach food, and they had calamari, and I was like, you know what? When in Rome, fuck it. And it was like $15 for like.
And look, if you've never bought food at a beach, it's always kind of expensive.
Yeah,
because you're buying food at a beach, it's hard to get. Like it's always
kind of
overpriced.
Like seafood. It's like, I mean, we're by the ocean. Let's go with it.
I was hungry, and there was nothing else around.
Don't usually get calamari
all we
in Iowa,
had.
so I was like, fuck it. Kaitlin, what did you get?
I got a cheeseburger and French fries.
Yeah, how much was that cheeseburger and French fries?
It was $30. Look, I did not see the price. And I got explained to me later that it's hard to get beef all the way up. I mean, granted, we were up in the middle.
Some cows around there.
Santa Monica is not
cow central like Iowa is.
And it's not like super accessible. I mean, there's the highway, but like it's literally surrounded by a freeway and then ocean. Yeah. So yeah, no, we paid. It was pretty good. I'm not gonna say it wasn't. I just don't know if it was worth $30.
It's just the funny of like the calamari $15, burger $30 in Iowa. That would definitely be a flipped.
It would definitely be flipped. And
it was wild.
I've never paid $30 for a burger. Ever.
Yeah, that was
ever, even like a deluxe, like with a bunch of shit on it. Like I've never ever paid $30 for a burger.
But beach burger, I don't know. It was good for what it was.
We lived in Rome, and then we paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly Levi.
And then we drove to Lone Pine, California.
Which is like, what, a 4-hour drive from where we were?
I almost stopped at Zoran's because he gave me his address.
And then I had to be like...
had to tell me, like, you can't do that. I'm like, I know I can't.
Because guess what? It was actually Memorial Day. Like, it was Monday, Memorial Day.
I know. But, like, it was on.
I had to stop this one from being... just barging into someone's house and being like, hey, look at me out here!
I wasn't going to barge in his house. I was going to go up to his mailbox. What's the difference?
I still think that's just really inappropriate.
Anywho, drove to Lone Pine. That was a really
weird drive.
Yeah, because
it was a little anxiety filled. Not gonna lie.
It's
because it's deserty.
It's really deserty. That's where Death Valley is. So if you don't know where Lone Pine, California is in terms of like California, it is up and to the west.
I think that turnoff
like 30 miles from Death Valley.
Well, no, it's like 90, but like, so the road leading into Lone Pine, you can take a right, and that's the road that leads you into Death Valley.
Yeah.
It's like 90 miles or something from
right there.
Like it's not that
like
far.
You can see it. It is this white shape in the distance. Like,
it is not that far away from Lone Pine.
Bright and shines in your eyes, and it is terrifying over there. And you can instantly really feel the heat. Like, it's just like, oh, I'm going to keep my window rolled up because I am afraid of, like, killing the air conditioner.
And they're not kidding. You are really out in the middle of the desert out there. Like there's no tumbleweeds, but there should have been because you are out in the desert. And us traipsing around the desert in our van looking for all of these,
that comes later.
All the production places. I have a really funny picture I want to show the world because I forgot that I had them on here.
Wow.
Pictures of you on the.
Okay, I'm scared of what this is.
Because that was also a very challenging day for Kaitlin.
We should have kept doing it at night, the night before. Like we could have stayed. Like the dark, it doesn't get as dark as you think once the sun like hits the mountains.
Yeah, but we didn't need to be out there after dark.
I understand. I was just making a realizing for later.
So for anybody who doesn't understand what we're talking about, which is probably everybody, Levi had a plan to go to all of these different filming locations.
Look, I had several plans before all of this started anyway. So,
which
I'm just picking up the plans where I can.
Don't get me wrong. It's cool. I love it. However, those places were not easy to get to. I was expecting them to be a little more accessible, but man, they fucking trekked those actors out into the middle of nowhere.
Oh, yeah. Like legitimately.
Like you're already in the middle of nowhere. Like you're already in the middle of the desert, and then you go out on a dirt road.
And then you're
on a rock for 20 hours and nothing in sight. There's no people around. You have to drive at least 20 minutes to get to any person. It's no joke. That's no joke out there, and I can kind of understand why some of the actors were feeling very isolated because they're cut off from their families. There's no cell service out there.
The town of Lone Pine itself is not that fucking big. Hold on. Do you ever get tired of the same questions, answers at these events? Are you still content seeing new fans hearing certain stories for the first time?
Yes.
It's the second part. I'm always going to know. It's not really for me. If I really need more questions answered like that, I'll bring them on the show. I got to have Ron on for that specific one. If there's more there that people aren't getting, that's something, a one-on-one thing.
No, but watching fans hear Michael Gross tell Burt Gummer stories for the first time, that's awesome. What's awesome. I already know the answer, but they don't know the answer. And then the look on their face, they're so excited because Burt Gummer is actually the one saying it. That's very exciting.
See, I've heard Alex talk about the sunlight thing, in terms of filming.
Can I eat one of those without? Yeah. I'm just kind of hungry. Okay.
Of course, I honestly do often.
Okay.
Alex, he's talked about the sunlight thing with the mountains, but watching him talk about it in a room of people from LA that are into film and you can see the head nod, oh yeah.
They really want to hear what he has to say.
Yeah.
Hanging on his every word, and then they're just so grateful for his time and for him being there because they never ever thought that they'd get to talk to him. Anybody that was there, they just don't ever think that they're going to get the chance.
Actually don't like myself being in the middle of this. I understand that I have a Talking Tremors podcast and I do all of this stuff. I really don't like being in the middle. I like helping people get together and do all that. It goes back to the convention thing at the beginning. If there was a way for me to facilitate this and not have to interact with anybody, that would be great. I actually told Jeff Johnson that at one point where we were talking and he's talking about his nervousness at the event. And I'm like, oh man, I am working through several personal fears right now. And he's like, really? And I'm like, yeah, no, this is all this crowd and all these people. And he's like, oh, Well, good job, man. That's a lot. Like, way to push through that. I'm like, thanks. I actually really appreciate that because this is just like not my gig at all. But yeah, I love like people doing stuff. Like I have to say, Afro Pugsy, I was waiting for you this whole time. Like Afro gave me this sign. I've been waiting to put it up. I don't know where I'm going to put it. It has to go back here. Obviously.
Yeah, we got to be able to see
but
it.
I don't know where.
We finally got one of the signs.
Yeah, what's
Whoop,
up? Get hype. Thank
I
you.
see these signs everywhere, so the fact that we finally have one
and
is
it's got
very
bullet holes
exciting.
in it and everything. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going to sit. I want to have to figure out where it needs to go. Hype. But no, to answer, to like go beyond your question, Chris, I don't know. Fucking.
Also,
I'm like one person. We're like two people, and there's like hundreds and thousands of others. Like, bring it on, I say.
have you ever watched a movie with the people in the movie?
Don't make them jealous. Baby.
No, I know, but that's also part of it. Like, you can watch something 100 million times, but then when the person who's actually in it is there, it makes it just so much different.
I just spent all my time watching Michael Gross and Finn Carter. Like, I didn't even care about the movie. Like, I was just watching them.
They were saying their own lines. Like, how freaking hilarious is that? Like, all that Burt Gummer, like, whenever he says the stuff about critical need to know information, like, I was literally sitting right behind him, like, saying the lines with him while he does it. But also, it was a lot. It was great. It was a good time. I highly recommend everybody doing that because it's a lot of fun.
Worth it. We'll do that at Perfection Fest. That's the whole point.
I would highly recommend bringing.
Yeah, Chris, bring your kids too.
It is, yes, movie with the cast, and then you get to ask questions and like listen to stories about them filming the movie afterwards. No, it's one of the coolest things that you can be a part of, especially if you love the franchise.
Yeah. That's where I go back to, like, for me, I do this show because I'm the only one that does it. If there was some way of like getting those people to tell their stories and me not be involved, then I'm like, cool, awesome, great. That's
actually
keep talking. Just keep talking. I'm good. You don't really need me here. Just keep.
I have an
rolling.
idea. I have an idea about that. We'll talk about it later.
Well, no, he said I was saying that in terms of like making Tremors Fest better, and that's my biggest one. And this is something I guess I would say it to like all the fans, and this would be my thing. Like, worrying about getting an autograph or a picture is like, it's whatever. Enjoy your time with those people. Like, ask them questions, listen to their stories, because they don't get to tell them a lot. So, like, in being one of those rare people that they do tell that story to, you don't have the physical proof of it, but you have that emotional connection with them. Like, that's where I said this to Kaitlin, where I read something the other day about people will forget what you said, but they'll always remember how you made them feel. And so be that kind of fan. Like, that's what, if I want to take Tremors Fest, I don't want it to be all about signing and like, just enjoy the people that made the movie in the place where they made it. That's a rare opportunity. That is a beautiful thing to do.
Also, the Lone Pine Museum, am I saying that right?
Yeah.
The movie
the
museum
of Western Film History
is really not at all what I expected.
Cool.
I did not expect it doesn't look as big from the outside.
It does. It seemed like a really small building.
And
like,
it is.
I was concerned.
And but it's a space that's used very well. Mm-hmm. And I was genuinely impressed with the inside. I was like, wow, this is cool. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody. I'm not going to tell anybody what's there because I was genuinely shocked at some of the things that I saw.
I will say the Tremors exhibit might be the biggest part of the place.
It is by far the biggest.
Like,
and it has some really interesting that, neighbors, like the exhibits that are around it. But Tremors is
there's
100%
giant stagecoaches and cars in there, but still the Tremors exhibit
is the biggest.
Might actually be the biggest.
It's the biggest in terms of like the way that
it's not where itself. You see it. The way they kind of put it off a little bit over here, so you kind of like got to make your way to get there. But it's its own room in and of itself, and there's a lot in there in terms of like a museum.
Yeah.
But the signature one. Yeah.
No, that's cool because there's like a great spot where they can put it. I need our Kevin Bacon, Don Michael Paul, and I miss Howard from Comic-Con.
His name is John Goodwin.
Oh yeah. The one guy. Yeah. But no, I'm not going to spoil any more about that museum, but it is cool. I didn't know what to expect, but I was impressed.
And to go up, okay, so finding these places is hard. And I actually have locations and coordinates, I'm going to make a map for Perfection Fest. Like, I am going to make sure that
There'll be like a beginner, an
Like-
intermediate, and like a expert death level.
Legitimately.
Where
like,
you go out at your own risk and no liability on anybody else because you might not come back.
to get to the town of Perfection, look, we didn't even make it.
We didn't
We
because
didn't.
it's so far out there.
It was, and the road started to get real janky, and it was like
It turned into like less than a level B. Whatever's between an A and a B road,
and
it
we
was
were
that.
already like coming off of a town that had nobody in it with like all these abandoned houses, and yeah, no, that was so Perfection might be hard to get to, and I'm pretty sure it's like
you
off too.
Also, you would need like a Jeep, like an all-terrain vehicle.
Legitimately. Hold on, I was doing that to Chris's. Yeah, such a fun movie to watch with the crowd because you can hear them chant certain lines. Pick the wrong.
That's
damn
a
record.
huge
Minecraft
one.
movie with my son had elements. Yeah, the interactiveness. Yes,
That's what's fun about it.
And yes, that's who Afro is missing. And then what was the? I think I have an idea about to get to the town of Perfection.
Because you've been out there.
Well,
yeah.
We did it. Okay, we're back. Holy shit.
Sorry.
Woo!
I thought I broke it for a second.
You're fine.
I got there with my RAV4. I mean, we were in a rental. Like, if I had my own car, like we've got it like a Kia Sorento. I would have had no problem taking it out there. It's just with the rental, I wasn't sure. I didn't need to be bottoming out my rental because we had to drive all the way back to Iowa.
It was a thing. A drone wouldn't be too bad. I mean, that's fine.
Ooh, a drone is.
It's just more. I know people physically want to like walk in it. Like the video is cool and all, but it's the physical walking in it. That's where I have to say I think the main focus will be on the rock, the boulder itself, because that's the easiest one to get to.
Well, that one in the
Movie Flats Road.
Yeah, the road where you.
The very, very sandy road.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bad road. It was just super sandy.
Yeah. Tricky to get around.
It was, but easiest one really to get to and for everybody to park. And there's a road and then you got to fucking like actually hike to it, like legitimately. It's like over there. Do you have a picture you want to show, Kaitlin?
Well, Levi insisted. Well, we had to. I don't even remember what you were doing. Like you were talking.
I'm filming promos. I gotta post those too.
Yeah, you were filming like promos on top of the rock.
Yeah.
And so like I took a picture. Levi's little like hat is on the freaking.
I'm actually wearing the same dress. Yep.
Like that's literally what we were out in that freaking area. Like that's the area. Like that rock is the rock, and it was really hard to get up on top of. Well, not really.
No, actually, it was easy to get up on. I can tell why they picked it. Like it was actually very easy to get up, kind of all sides on it.
Yeah.
It was just a rough rock. Bring gloves and such.
Yes, but then like here's the terrain and stuff to get there. It's all very. Yep, that's what it looks like.
Sand and scrub brush.
Yep. Desert.
Yep. And that's not so then all these places are fucking like really the town of Perfection is like 40 miles from Lone Pine. The Rock is 20. I was actually finding out where they filmed the end is maybe about 30 away. The hardest one, the real hard one, is the one with the road. Like
that was tricky. We had to drive
because the Tuttle Creek Road on that is man.
We found it, but it took us like going all the way up and back. Will the death level make you go through the tunnels into the
possible Tremors Fest crowd activities pogo stick competition?
Oh, that's a good idea.
Maybe. That could be a thing. I'm
We
not
could do the
opposed.
weird shit from the
Okay,
movies. Yeah,
hold
let's see
on,
who
hold
can pogo stick.
Pogo stick
That's
competition.
actually not
I'm
bad.
gonna write that.
Anybody else got any ideas? Some weird tremor shit we could do out in, because the thing is, Lone Pine, the town, is going, so like they're going to remember. We talked to, wasn't it the lady from the museum?
Yeah.
She
Peggy.
lived there her entire life. Like she remembers the movie being filmed.
Yeah. She
So
said
like
they loved it. Like that was the one that the whole town like just loved the whole Tremors crew, and they're people that were there when it filmed are really excited for Perfection Fest because they're like, oh my god, all those people are gonna come out. That's awesome. Like they were all really cool. Like that was a great time filming and a great movie. So like bring it on, I say.
So not only is it going to bring all the people back that were there that they know, it's going to bring a huge influx of tourism to their town. Like,
and it's a town of 2,000 people.
It's not big.
And I must say, it's a town of 2,000 people. There's one street. There's one main street. No stoplight.
Nah, there's one stoplight to turn.
There's a stop sign.
No, it's the light to turn up
it's
to the
one
rock.
to the Whitney Road. Yeah. To the
Don't
rock.
worry, we got Lone Pine down. We drove around it so many fucking times.
There's like 8 motels.
Oh my god! We talked about it.
Fucking motels.
We talked about it the whole time. I have never ever seen a town that small with so many varying. It was motel. It was. I mean, granted, it was mostly motels,
hotel, whatever. Like,
but that one that we stayed in was
Villa?
really nice. Yeah. Like really.
They had bidets, people.
They did have a bidet.
That was the first time I've ever
and
used
a working hot tub.
And I was like, yes.
And awesome. A microwave. So let's talk about that.
And Family Ties on TV. We were watching Family Ties while we were there for Tremors and like with the mountains. And I actually have a video of like watching Family Ties and then going outside. Like
it was weird.
It was super fucking wild.
It was awesome, but it was really weird. No, Lone Pine is great, but yeah, it has a lot of different motels. Basically, any price range that you're looking at, there's something for you. I promise.
Anything. And after we was talking about, there were times I went to the Lone Pine where Whitney Road was blocked off. We had to take Tuttle Creek Road the back way into the hills. Ooh, that would be a pain. Oh my god.
That would suck. That would be such a long.
Because
I actually
Whitney's
did.
The easy one, yeah.
I actually, now that you say that, I do remember that being a thing. Yeah. Yes, that was the way that they had to get there.
That's a pain in the ass.
It would be. Like, knowing the little bit that we do about it, Whitney Road is the way to go.
It's just right, like, it makes it easy. It's like,
it's just right there. Don't worry, you'll all understand.
Wow. And so then the whole point, what we're going to do with Perfection Fest is that the hub of stuff is at the museum. Like that's our talking to people, hanging out place. And then I really want to take stuff outside because they have a huge fucking parking lot. Like,
and then there's like an area in the back,
and concrete parking lot.
Yeah, it just goes all the way around. That
all
you can do
like
stuff
we can
outside.
use all this outside area. And then there's a school literally right across the street. I was thinking it was far. It is literally
kitty corner. You
like
can
right
see
there.
It from the
right. It's the next building that can seat 300 people that will do our actual screenings in and the panels in because it's got a stage and everything. And it's I can't believe how close. I was like,
it's
they
all
were
right
telling
there.
When I was talking to the people like beforehand, like before we ever got there, like, oh yeah, we'll use this like school. And I'm like, okay, how far? Oh, okay, I see. It's just like it is right there. So that'll be fun. Like I said, we'll do the movies, and they have a little like 100-person theater in the museum, which that kind of like sneaks. I was like, you don't even notice it like being there.
It's tiny. Apparently, they had a Tremors thing there.
Yeah.
Once I don't remember.
That was in 2020.
Yeah, like Kevin Bacon signed like a pole or something. No, was that?
No, that was Quentin Tarantino.
Quentin Tarantino.
Don't
give too much away.
Oh, that wall thing. Yes. Yeah,
the wall thing. There was like this weird thing.
At the time, did you cross the road where the 2 road workers died? Yeah, that's the Tuttle Creek Road. That's what we're talking about.
We had a hard time finding it. We had to go all the way up and back, but we did find it.
Or an Easter egg hunt like event where you have to find plastic trickery. Okay, see that would be fine, except you don't understand how like middle of nowhere everything is. You like to find if you were to leave something, you would need incredibly specific instructions to find it again, even for yourself. Like, because all those bushes look the same. Like you're losing it real quick.
Yes, we are. Lone Pine High School.
Yes, Lone Pine High. And are you coming across Nightmare Rock? Oh, okay. Yeah. Afro's been there. He knows his shit.
He does, yes.
So yeah, that'll be good. Honestly, and the people there, they were all really nice, like talking to them. ended up the main person that runs the actual museum, Peggy, talked for her for a little bit just to be like, hey, I'm an actual person before you meet. Hello, how are you? Their workers seemed cool. Honestly, just I liked the museum. That hotel was dope too. That was a nice swimming in that hotel and that hot tub and that view, that little corner.
Yeah, it was a nice view.
That was goddamn. That was nice.
Just a bunch of mountains everywhere.
Out, seeing mountains is always a score.
Mountains are great.
Rope off an area for the shrieker egg hunt. Maybe
that would be cute.
Maybe that sounds like an in-town activity. Bidets and hotel. I had to say it. Never used a bidet. 10 out of 10 would use again. Everybody should use a bidet.
I enjoyed it too.
And then we decided to get the fuck out of Dodge. And that was it. So look, to Kaitlin's credit, we stopped at some stuff the night before, and then it got dark, and we went back. And I was like, well, we'll go back later in the day. And it was hot, and she wanted to murder me because it was hot, and I wanted to go explore rocks in the middle of the desert. And I just want to let you know.
Very, very on
I love you. That's not. I'm sorry. I love you. That's my fault. Not to mention, you actually picked to go to Lone Pine in the fall.
That's what they were saying. Actually, yes, that we had several people say that. Don't come out here in the summer. It's fucking hot.
We were originally going to do this in August. That would have been no, thank you. And whack-a-mole. I would do whack-a-mole, but with graboids, that would be fine. Are you coming to Perfection Fest, Chris? You can't just come up with ideas and not be coming. So anyway, we left California, and we decided not to go backwards. So we went through Utah, and really, Kaitlin wanted to see Salt Lake City because of what?
Look, I love a good housewives, and I recently discovered that there are Mormon housewives, and that makes me laugh. They think that they're religious, and they sing Amazing Grace off key, and I just love it so much. And the housewives are meant to be on the coasts. There's not another franchise anywhere else. Even the ones in Miami, Miami. So the fact that there was a group of them in the middle of the country, not in the middle, but that wasn't on a coast. I was genuinely curious, what is Salt Lake City like? I didn't care about them. I was just more what the hell is this city about that's stuck in the between, what is it? Between a mountain and a lake. But
not even a lake.
Well, the lake is dried up. It's not really a lake.
It's an old lake. We were seeing you can see the old millions of years ago where the water line was
where it started, and it's gone down so much, and now any of the lakes out there are gross because you're right, it's the bottom of.
So I was super curious, and I was what is the Salt Lake, what is this, to the point where I pulled off and did a detour to go check it out. And another point, Kaitlin wanted to murder me, but I was I just need to I need to physically see this and dip my toes in.
It stunk.
Not worth it. Not worth. I did that was one you know what? I've now done this, and I no longer need.
I didn't want to touch it. I was that smells. I don't want to anywhere near it.
It's just a salt shit
Well, and then the town itself. I mean, it's huge. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. Afro's talking about going. Is actually he's having his son soon. Yeah.
Aw, I did see that. That's very exciting.
Reminds me.
No, Salt Lake City is literally just kind of a city. It's not. It's huge. Yeah. It's wedged between a mount, the bottom part of a mountain and the.
Actually, it wasn't it was just the same as any other city we've been to. Yeah, I can't say.
It's just different. Hard for me to see housewives living there. Not gonna lie, yeah. It was hard for me to picture them being in that area, but there were a lot of very large mansions, kind of sporadically placed. So. Lots of money. I wasn't overly impressed. I don't know if I'd ever go back.
Actually, I forgot. We missed a crucial part of Utah. We missed that part of Utah. We just went to Salt Lake. But I have to say, there was a terrifying part of Utah. And I would not recommend this to anybody at all. And this is where I have to thank, Don't Make It Weird in the Quarantine Book Club and We Have Issues podcast for being podcasts we can listen to without internet.
Saved our butt.
Which was the whole trip. But there was one specific point where we passed a sign at 11 o'clock at night in the Salt Flats of Utah that said, no service for the next 193 miles. And that means Just nothing.
No service.
No service.
No gas, no food,
nothing.
no nothing.
Fucking.
Not even rest areas.
Nothing.
Like you can pull off on the side of the road and poop, but that's about it.
Fucking nothing. And like I said, 11 o'clock at night, and there was a point where we did not see headlights for 2 hours, and we were the only living people in probably a 200 square mile
happened
radius.
to us way too many times on this trip because that's not the only time that happened.
No.
That happened when we were up in the mountains when it started snowing.
Okay, that was a different.
And it happened when we were in the middle of fucking Arizona, New Mexico. I don't even know, but we were literally
no, that was
on the way there.
No, that wasn't.
I'm just saying it happened more than once where we were the only people
You're thinking
driving.
of when we did our like first Tremors Fest and we were down in like
they all kind of run together.
Like we were not Arizona, but like going through Oklahoma and Texas, and it gets really dry and janky there. Yeah, no service. Yeah, oh yeah.
It was terrifying.
No service for
and it only
193 miles. I remember that sign specifically.
And it literally
shit my pants.
And it didn't hit me until like halfway through when I was like, I haven't seen anybody.
I didn't say anything to you. I was driving and I was just like, I'm gonna just keep this shit to myself.
But no, we literally just listened to podcasts for the entire. We just flipped back and
the
forth.
Quarantine Book Club, or actually that one was at the Quarantine Book Club time.
Yeah,
I think that was around dinosaur loads. And
Rance and Bobo got us through the salt flats of Utah.
Rance, Bobo,
and
Gina,
I will
Daniel,
never
Sean,
be able to thank any of these people.
Steven and Anthony, we love you guys so much. Like seriously,
you might have saved our lives.
Because it was terrifying. And like, we didn't like Kaitlin and I didn't say anything to each other. Like I think I
didn't want to jinx anything.
There was a mutual like, just we're not gonna say anything.
Because if I said anything, then like I'm gonna like start crying.
Like the reality hits you to the point. So I'm driving and I was doing really well. I eventually am like so tense that I was like, Kaitlin, I gotta stop. Can you like take over? And we had like maybe half an hour left of that. And we start driving and like she starts driving and I'm like, oh my God, babe, I was so scared. Like everything. She's like, you shut up. We're not done yet. Shut up until we're actually out of it. And I'm like, you're right. I'm sorry. I just panicked. I'm gonna go back to just roll down the window. Everything's good. Yes, eliminate. I mean, you would make money. And then, I did tell Pappy afterwards, like, because he was a truck driver for a solid 20, 30 years. And I told him about that. Like, he's like, oh, yeah, that used to happen. You just kind of like make sure you plan ahead of time. I was like, yeah, no, we hit it at like 11 o'clock at night. He's like, you did what?
Yeah, no, even Pappy was like, that's hardcore.
Like, that's the time. That's what we were doing and had to do. Oh my God. Like
he thought we were nuts. And that's Pappy talking. Like Pappy thought that? Oh shit, maybe we shouldn't have been doing that. We got a question.
Christopher Garten will only be paid to go to things, and it's kind of frustrating because that's also one of Peter Valderrama's clients, and I can't ever get like Chris's contact information. I'd love him on the show and anything like that, but I would love Christopher Garten there. That would be great. Fucking love Grady. Grady's one of my all-time favorites, man. You got $1,200, and you can pay for a whole bunch of his other stuff.
Yeah, you essentially kind of have to get him there and pay for the entire trip.
That's how it works, man. Did you not read the interview, the article? The hardest part is like getting these people here and not being able to pay them. Like there was a good chunk of that article about me that was like, that's really hard, man.
Well, and because they all should be getting paid. What's the thing about it is they are giving their time to do something that is not their normal job. Like they should be getting paid.
That's where I will say this. There is a new thing for like Tremors Perfection Fest this year that there will not be a free-for-all on signing. Everybody gets one. You get one item to sign by everybody in the cast and crew. Anything beyond that, you will be paying at the artist's discretion.
So they can say $150 per signature, and that's what you pay.
That's what
if you want to
have your extra. One free item, and you know what? A selfie is along with that too, because I think that's adorable. But like the huge batches of signing things, that's not happening.
We're not doing that. This is more about a reunion of people. They're not going to be traveling all the way to Lone Pine to sign a bunch of shit.
No, because that's no fun for them because they spend all that time signing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not into that.
We want to give them an opportunity to do that, but not spend all of their time doing that.
Like, they gotta have fun.
They want to be able to go and explore.
Yeah.
Like I just envision the cast. They're gonna want to go out and see that rock. Like if they do get up there, they're gonna want to do all the activities, and they're gonna be on the panels, and like they don't want to spend all their time
signing. Oh my God, signing.
They want to interact with you.
Yeah.
But
legitimately,
they don't want to spend all their time signing.
Does
shit.
anybody? Would you rather like have a conversation with somebody and
weirdly
engage
enough,
with them personally?
I think they'd rather take your picture. I think they'd rather get their picture taken with you. And it's not saying that they won't sign stuff. It's just that
the real problem is that like in the back of everybody's mind, we know how the signing things is like a business now, and as much as you want to hope that a fan is a fan, like you just don't know that for sure. But the picture is great because that's actually I saw Mark Hamill say that where like that's his way of like weeding out true fans besides people that want to like sign stuff is he'll ask like, oh, would you sign this? Oh no, but would you like a picture? Oh no, we don't want a picture. So there's like, oh no, you're not a fan then. If you don't want a picture with me, then you really don't care. Like that's like, so pick and choose there.
Like I said, if they want to charge, if they don't want to sign anything extra and they want to charge $150 for a second signature.
See, Afro, that's a different thing. See, now you're talking about something that goes to like a collective cause, like having everybody sign he wants to like he's got his perfection sign and he's already got a bunch of people signed it. He wants everybody else to, so he can give it to the museum. That's a totally different thing.
Yeah, no, that's something that you're going to donate.
That's a collective good, and that's a whole like putting into it thing. Yeah.
Well, and that's something that you're not benefiting from yourself.
Yep.
You're going to give it to the museum who will benefit from it.
That's
very selfless, and that's something that
at the
we
con,
can get behind.
I asked Michael if he would make a video, not for me, but for my friend Nate, who's like a Burt Gummer cosplayer, and I was like, hey, would you like please make this video? He lives in the UK. He's never going to be able to see you, but like absolutely loves Burt Gummer, and like, would you just make a quick video shouting? He's like, oh my God, of course, like
he had no problem doing it.
Please and thank you. I'm like, oh my God, I love you. You're so great.
They just want to interact with the fans.
Yeah.
They just don't want to be bugged.
Wouldn't you? That would be my thing. Wouldn't you rather just like hang out with people? Like, do you really want our autograph, or do you just want to like hang out with us?
You don't want my autograph. Yeah. It doesn't matter. I don't give a shit.
And order a new drone.
I love the drone idea.
Is a good one.
The drone that's a game changer.
Yeah.
I love that idea, and let's chat about. Yeah, no.
I don't know how. I mean, I can make it work for the pod. I would just play it on the podcast.
Picture is the best autograph out there. I knew I liked you. No, seriously, let's talk about all of that because that drone thing is very, very enticing.
That's where when I was doing the like at the con itself, I was just like, if I had a moment, it was like selfie. God. Selfie.
I have so many pictures of Levi with different people.
Selfie.
Like, I have so many different pictures of you.
And it wasn't, honestly, I wasn't doing it with like any of like the bigger people. It was like Javi and Craig and Mike and Evo. It's like, oh my God, I need a picture of you. It's more special that way. But Utah, terrifying. And we eventually did get out of that salt flats and we didn't die. And we immediately got a hotel. As soon the first town we hit, we're like, it's 1:00 in the morning. We're fine. We're going. We're fucking sleeping. And you know what? That hotel had a microwave.
Mm-hmm.
That janky fucking
literally like a quarter of the price. Very sketch.
It was tiny. But it was I've been in really small hotel rooms, and that was tiny.
I don't know. It was
kind of fun. It was just a little baby.
It had 2 beds in it, though.
Yeah.
Like 2 queen beds.
A microwave. A fucking microwave.
No, all you gotta do is ask us where you can find a cheap hotel. We got you covered. We can figure it out for you.
And yeah, totally agree, Afro. Yeah. Pictures worth 1,000 words.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so we wanted to hit a hot springs. So we ended up finding one in Wyoming. Saratoga Hobo Hot Springs, which is a 24-hour
completely free.
You
just
wide
show up
open.
And get in.
But
it definitely had rocks on the bottom. Like it was a natural thing.
Obviously, but it was.
But there were stairs.
Well, they had built you could tell that the hot spring was there, and they had built things to intercede with it.
Hot.
Yeah,
It was like 98-degree water.
There was 3 of it. There was a super hot one, a medium one, and then the river actually had some some
it was awesome, but like you could only be in there for about.
It was hot, and it had it was a mineral hot springs too. So I think there was something else in it, like zinc or lead or something. But it was cool. It was fucking hot, but like that was fun. It was like just interesting in general.
And it was raining out, so it was kind of.
We were both afraid to put our heads under, so it was nice to have the rain.
The last time I did that, I got a wicked ear infection, so I'm not gonna put my head under.
Out of the 3 hot tubs we visited, that one was definitely a number 2. That one at the Great Sand Dunes is just hard to beat.
That one was wild.
That one was
I don't know if we're ever gonna find anything else like that.
Honestly, we should just go back to it. That's really because it was so cool.
We just spent the whole day there.
But then Levi made a mistake.
Wow, that's the first time you're saying this in the entire. I guess you didn't make a mistake. It's just Levi being like.
Well, the other ones were kind of things that I was like dealing with in the moment and trying to like work towards. This was one that I didn't fully understand the map when I was like picking out the GPS away from the Saratoga Hobo Hot Springs. Caitlin's been. Okay.
I'm just gonna let you tell this.
Okay, so we're in like Wyoming. Which, hey, I have to say this. It's really odd that a state that is like super illegal on weed has a bunch of like, you should go buy weed billboards. First thing, I don't understand that at all. Get your shit together, Wyoming. Secondly, we left this place and it was like, obviously we're just going to keep going straight. We got to go to Iowa. So let's do that. All right. There's a road that goes that way. We're going to take that and we'll get back on the 80 or whatever it is. This road goes up a mountain. Little did Levi understand. And when I say mountain, I mean like the full mountaintop.
We went up a mountain and then we went back down that mountain.
And what was happening on that mountain while we went up it, Kaitlin?
It got colder the higher we went. And then it started snowing. Like
actually snowing. It was terrifying.
Because it was very slick. I was going up. And then I started to go down like this. It was like, and it was slippery. And it was like 34 degrees up there. And it was starting
Lord
to
of the
freeze.
Rings where it's snowing on the mountain before they go, like they're crossing over the Mines of Moria, and like there's Saruman's voice on
there
the
was like 2.5 feet.
It was all that.
There was like 2.5 feet of snow up there in some spots too. Like it was no joke.
We were both panicking. Just like
I was panicking.
We got this.
That was when I started.
You were fine.
I started to lose my fucking shit at that point. That was the most scared I was. In all of the other like the salt flats and whatever, that was the most scared that I was.
And it was gradual how it happened too. Like it's like it was nice, and then like there's a little snow, and there's a bit more, but there's piles.
And then it just started snowing like blizzard style, and like we're from Iowa. I'm used to driving in blizzards on flat surfaces, not grades and inclines and declines.
And then downs and
literally started it started snowing, and then we started to go back down the other side of the mountain.
And then fortunately it did stop.
It did, because then it warmed back up, and it was just, oh my God. Like
terrifying.
I said, that was the most scared I was on the entire trip.
It was
by far, like that, out of all the other salt flats and everything, that was what was most terrifying.
It was a lot.
That was the most terrifying to me.
But we got down and hit Colorado, did things in Colorado as one is supposed to do in Colorado. And then we were driving and we stopped by the giant arch.
Yeah, the one in Nebraska.
Actually, hold on, Kaitlin. Talk for a minute.
It's not an arch because that's in St. Louis, but it's like it's
across the road.
If you're driving on I-80 going back towards Iowa, so going east, there's this crazy arch that goes up over top of the freeway, and we saw it going out. We're like, "What the hell is that?" It's actually like a gift shop /
It's a museum.
Yeah, it's a museum. But they have this great gift shop attached to it. Yeah. We bought all kinds of stuff. But if we had more time, we would have actually gone to the museum part of it. Because apparently you go like up the escalator, then you can go over the bridge.
Like
and there's
physically.
shit over on the other
museum
side.
Is in the bridge part.
Yeah, no, it sounded really cool. We didn't have a whole lot of time. But
Kaitlin got me this cool ring. That's what I went downstairs for.
Yeah. I did. We were on the search for a new wedding ring for Levi. And we found one at a random...
This one was big, so we had to get another one at Pride Fest. Score.
Yes.
Yeah, that was cool. Nebraska
It was.
cool.
I actually highly recommend it.
And the reason we stopped is that like we've gone through that area multiple times.
I don't even remember what it was called. The Nebraska.
I feel like it was just Arch or something like that.
Hold on, I can look it up.
So we stopped at that, and then so basically by then, like the rest is just driving home, and we physically got home.
Got home kind of late at night, but we did, and I didn't go to work at all that week. Granted, the one day was Memorial Day, and I actually got holiday pay that day, which saved my ass. But no, Tuesday through Friday, I was supposed to be at work. I didn't go to work. They were surprisingly okay about it.
They're fine.
Shout out Osterhouse Pharmacy. Like, you shouldn't have been so cool about that, and you were. So, thank you. Appreciate it.
Got home, and then we actually went to a wedding the next day.
The next day.
And you know what? We were the hits of the wedding. We teared up that dance floor hard.
Hannah,
Sam, we love you. We bless your marriage with this podcast.
We've actually become pretty confident. I'm not going to say competent. I'm going to say confident dancers. And we can kind of
We've taken lessons. We've done some things with the people.
We can make it up pretty well when we want to.
Are you trying to find a photo?
Well, I'm trying to find the name of it. Like, here's all the...
Oh.
Like, I have all the places that we went.
Oh my God, you do. Holy shit.
Yeah, because I had my location on. So, like, I have every single fucking place that we stopped in the entire trip.
Oh, that little janky hotel in Colorado was nice.
Oh my God, look at this picture that they want the Good Burger guy for the motel.
Wow.
Like, no.
That's odd. The Westin Pasadena.
But yeah, I did the videos and stuff so I could post in there.
Oh, that's cool.
That's the whole point. Yeah, I have our entire trip on Google Maps because I had my see
the past set, yeah.
So I had my location on the whole time, just because it's probably best.
We could have used. Kaitlin went to the I-80 truck stop for the first time ever. That was one.
It was all right. I wanted Pizza Hut, but there wasn't any pizza. So.
Did we end up getting Pizza Hut?
Yeah. Finn got it for us. Remember?
That's right. Yes.
Like I showed up and there was Pizza Hut because Finn Carter had bought me Pizza Hut. I don't know.
Score.
We need to wrap this up.
I know. So we didn't talk about it. I need to go back to the beginning and talk about it. These people right here, we need to like give them like their kudos for saving our lives, like legitimate. So okay, don't make it weird. A quarantine book club, and we have issues. I'm like that's 3 olives because I mentioned 3 podcasts. You got to eat them too.
I have to eat 3 olives. Again, you're lucky.
So we've got to drive like across the country. So
more than 24 hours of driving.
What do you do with that? What do you do with that time? Initially, we started listening to music, and then it was like, we should listen to podcasts. And Kaitlin was like, I want to listen to that one with Dina and the boys.
I don't know what anything's called.
I want to listen to that one with Dina.
I just remember Dina.
Dina and the boys in the cult. Can we listen to the cult ones? And I'm like, I mean, look, sure, why not?
I just remember Dina. Dina's my girl, and like, I just remember her funny voice. Yeah. I don't. You never really. You told me what it was called, but I couldn't remember.
So we actually jumped around with episodes, and then went back to the beginning and started listening to the beginning, and then we jumped over to We Have Issues because there was we have like the newest Don't Make It Weird with We Have Issues, and it was like, all right, we'll jump back and forth.
We did all the crossover episodes,
and then the QBC. That's where Dinosaur Loads was in that.
We listened to Dinosaur Loads twice.
Yes, it was fair. I didn't mind that. Like I said, Dinosaur Loads.
I think they would hate us for that though. Like I feel like if we told them,
that's like the best episode. No, that's all of them. Come on, that's a super show.
We listened to Dinosaur Loads once on the way out, and then again on the way back. And it was mostly because of me, because I was like, that was fucking hilarious.
No, that was because the Salt Flask we ran out of like internet. And so it went back to an episode we'd already listened to.
It did, and it was Dinosaur Loads.
Because we'd already had it downloaded, so it went back to one that was...
That Dinosaur Loads got us through the fucking Salt Flats.
I'm coming in here hot. I'm going to listen. I need a pubic on a velociraptor.
Guys, there's a book called Dinosaur Lords.
It's very rapey.
And we listened to people like eviscerate it because of how terrible it was, and then they basically just ripped on the guy.
The Paracephalosaur, it's a Spinosaur. It's a 3 feet tall with a convex neck kind of thing. No. I'm gonna put my penis in your frills, your neck frills, like a Dilophosaur.
That's the guy that wrote it. He's a complete piece of shit.
No, it's not. That's France's voice for Like, that's not actually how he sounds.
Oh, I just assumed that's
I
how
actually
he sounded.
always assume that Victor Milan might actually be like Spanish. But they just do.
He's from Albuquerque. They said it like 12
so
times.
He's probably Spanish.
I just feel like that's his voice. I don't know. We can argue about this later. I just feel like that's his real voice.
It might be. Long drives are good for storyboarding for your next Tremors movies. Medieval times.
Look, there's a medieval times not that far from us. Like, we could probably get it on that. And they would be, because they would get all dressed up and shit, and they'd probably be
Doth thou graboid
yeah, it would be awesome, because they have, like, knights and, like, jousting and shit. Like, no, they would probably, if we went and, like, talked to them, they'd probably be like, yeah, no, come on, do something. That'd be hilarious.
So I have to thank those guys, and I want to do something real quick as we're thanking them.
Yeah, we got to call them.
We got to leave it.
But yeah, no, I love their podcasts. We haven't listened to a whole lot of podcasts since Harmontown, because Harmontown was such a crazy adventure, and then it got kind of dramatic and angry at the end. So, like, I just kind of lost.
There's just a lot. I don't know.
I just lost all. It got really too much for me at the end, so I kind of like stopped caring about it. But then, no, podcasts are a great way to connect with people, and it's fun because Anthony was a part of Harmontown, right? Or he listened to Harmontown?
He's just a fan.
And like that's how he remembers you. Yep. And so it's all now we're listening to him and Stevie. I
love you guys.
We
adorable.
We do love you guys.
Tina and KT and Atlas and Cambria and Chase. I love you guys so much.
We do.
And then that applies to the Don't Make It Weird people. Like, because then I only listen to them because of Anthony. And honestly, QBC the same. I was gonna say it all branches off.
Yeah, it's all branches
off.
Actually,
and then Buffalo, which isn't a part of it, and they actually just came out with the episode, the 52nd episode with me today. That was terrifying to listen to. But like you listen to people and you support and you
find
that
people
love
that you
around.
like. Yeah, you find people you like and you listen to them and you support them. That's the whole point. It's important.
So on that note, Don't Make It Weird has a number you can call to leave them a voicemail. And what should we leave the voicemail as, Kaitlin? Like as ourselves?
Or do I have to do a voice?
You don't have to do a voice.
Why don't you be Victor Milan and I'll be a dinosaur? No, I don't want to be a dinosaur. Rawr!
I mean, that's fine.
I think
that's totally fine.
I think we should talk about dinosaur loads though.
Okay.
Because it's going to make them really mad.
So if you want to call Don't Make It Weird, it's 347-699-3473. That's 347-699-WEIRD! As Daniel says in his shock jock voice.
Weird.
All right. Let's go.
I'm going to let you do the driving, and then I'll just...
You've reached the Don't Make It Weird voicemail box. If you have a message for Daniel, Thesaurus, or producer Sean, leave it at the tone. We just might play it on the show. Thanks for calling.
Hey, it's Victor Dick Milan here. I got one of my friends, this dinosaur I raped. Hey. Yeah, she liked it. She liked it a lot when I stuck it up there.
Pterodactyl noise!
Yeah, the pooper. The pterodactyl pooper. Okay, all right, Terry the pterodactyl. Tell me, what's your plans for the next pooping? Yeah, she's horny for it. She fucking wants it. She wants it hot. Yeah. Terry, do you have any last words for the people of the loads?
No.
Oh my God, Terry can speak fucking English. Holy shit. Have I been fucking a sentient dinosaur this whole... Terry! Tell me, what is life? What's the universe? What's the point?
Isn't it 42?
Holy shit! Oh my fucking God, this fucking pterodactyl can talk! Holy shit, somebody get me the fuck out of here. I may have committed some war crimes. This is not great. Terry, any last words for your fans?
I think we should probably tell them who this is.
It's Victor Dick Milan and fucking Terry the Pterodactyl, obviously.
Yes, Terry the Pterodactyl.
This might be Vic's brother, Stick the Dick Milan. I'm kind of losing it.
Yo, we just left a real life message for people who will probably end up playing that on their podcast.
If you want to leave a message for Don't Make It Weird, it's 347-699-3473. That's 347-69-WEIRD.
No, but they like really do. Since no one alive has actually heard a pterodactyl, it might actually sound like that. Pterodactyl noise. Thank you. I appreciate that note on my acting. I thought I was pretty great also. Because who knows what a pterodactyl sounds like? Nobody.
Yeah. But that's our gift to you. Don't make it weird. And everybody, family, thank you.
They're going to listen to that and be like, what the fuck?
And hopefully producer Sean knows that it does come from an episode. So I'm hoping
He
he
should.
understands
They're
that.
never going to ever forget dinosaur loads.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's ingrained.
No, I meant like our episode. Like, I think he's the only one that knows that I do the voicemails from the show.
Oh,
physically.
like you don't just call. What the fuck are you doing? Did you just drink that olive juice? Ew. You need to check your sodium levels. For real. That is not great. All right.
All right. No, we're
Let's
wrapping
wrap this
down
up.
here. So, Kaitlin, what? Sorry, I wrote this earlier, and now I'm just realizing this is a really loaded question. What did we learn?
What did we learn? We have been doing this for 2 hours and 20 minutes. I have to go to bed.
I know, but like, what did we? It's Chris. That's where Chris actually got to it earlier. But this is the bigger, like, what did we learn? Like, what was like?
I learned that convention life, while very exciting, is not quite for me, but I do very much appreciate it, and I appreciate the people who can actually be in that environment and thrive, because no. I also learned that sometimes people need a way or an excuse to get back together with people for some reason. Even though you know them, like, I even find this...
It was hard to, like, some of them didn't believe me at first for that reason. And it's like, no. You're going to know people there.
Yeah,
like,
it's weird.
It's much like I like a high school reunion in terms of that, like, you don't want, oh, I'm fat, or, I don't look as, all of those little insecurities. Obviously, people who are like 60 or 70 years old still have the same problems. Like,
yeah, it was fun to be able to watch that happen and to know that you had a huge hand in that. And then to listen to actual, like, celebrity, I don't know, I hesitate to call them celebrities, because while they are...
Gladys Jimenez friended Kaitlin on Facebook the other day.
She did.
That was cute.
She did. She's in a movie with Danny Trejo right now, and she friended me on Facebook. So, like, I don't know how to feel about that. But I don't know. I also learned that I don't like driving across the country. At least not on, like, a whim. It's something that maybe you should plan for.
Okay, Levicate. I actually like that one. I'm sorry. Power couple names. Levicate, like levitate. I mean,
that's actually...
I don't hate that,
I
Chris.
I kind of love it too. Although I will say that if you haven't ever driven across the country, and I say across the country, I mean from like Iowa to California, so it's like halfway, do it.
Yeah.
This country,
it's beautiful.
while a dumpster fire, like human
Politically,
being wise, gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
It is gorgeous, and all that stuff has been like untouched. All that desert, mountain. You just think about like the last time anything did touch it was probably a dinosaur.
Yeah.
And that's crazy, and everyone should see it at least once in their lives.
We ended up picking up rocks wherever we could, because it's not, I don't like to pick up plants, but like rocks don't move. And just thinking every time, like, this rock has probably been here like hundreds of thousands.
That's all I could think about when I was looking at the mountains, like, oh my God, A, this all used to be underwater. B, anything that wasn't underwater was being roamed by fucking skyscraper, huge, massive beings.
And yes, we did travel, like, we traveled from Iowa to New Mexico. So, and actually, so I would say California to New Mexico, not quite cross country.
It's close. I mean, it's definitely like
I don't mean to, like, it doesn't seem as much like that's like, those are still pretty close.
I mean, it's not, I would say it's like a quarter country.
Yeah.
Because even us, like, we're halfway. We didn't do the entire distance. The entire distance for me would be going from like
Maine to California.
Maine to Santa Monica Beach, let's say. Like, that's the furthest two places that you can be. Iowa, we're right in the middle.
Yeah.
It's still a significant amount of driving, but more like cross-country driving, because it's a lot of like freeway. You can travel 80 miles an hour.
I guess where I say the cross-country part is to see the landscape change.
That's true.
Like the California to New Mexico, there's not as much landscape change. There is a little bit because you go from like low desert to high desert, like mesas and stuff. But like going from Iowa cornfields through mountains to beaches,
Deserts.
that's your cross country. And I would say it's the same in the opposite. I really want to I would like to drive to like Maine. Like I want to drive the East Coast, like because that's just what's the Appalachians like? What is that distance? How does that actually work out?
And then when you get up into the big city like New York and Jersey, like what's the traffic
What
like?
is that like?
That's the whole. It's the whole part of it.
What did I learn? My only one on this is that you can never plan when people are involved.
What do you mean?
I mean, like I was trying to figure out how to get things done, but like when you have that many people involved, you can never plan enough. You should always improvising is going to be your best friend. Like you have to always be adjusting and moving and like, okay, like planning eventually doesn't help you. Your skills in the moment do.
Yeah, you and I are very good. Not improv. You're a good improver. I'm just a good performer.
What would we do again? Out of everything, what would you like to do again?
I think I've said this to you, but I really enjoyed Lone Pine.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed
You
being there.
didn't, like the microphone is right here.
I'm trying. I'm just really tired.
I'm hot too. I know. I'm just
It's
letting you know
hot
the
up here.
microphone is right here.
Okay, so I really enjoyed Lone Pine as a town. It gave me Makokata vibes, like if Makokata was in a desert, like where we live in Iowa. It weirdly enough, Makokata is bigger than Lone Pine because it's got more streets and stuff. But I can't wait. What I want to do again is what you did. Is I want to be able to give those people a place to not have to be around, like just to get together and talk,
Yeah.
take pictures or whatever they want to do, but like get together and just hang out and like maybe have a meal or something and just like chill.
That's Caitlin's big idea. She wants to have an actual gala, like a dinner with everybody, not fans, but like the actual people from the crew the day before Perfection Fest.
Like I want to give them a specific time where they're not expected to do anything by anybody. And I don't even mean like Levi and I have to be there. That's not what I'm talking about either. It's not like we're going to plan a meal so we can, no. It's to give them the space to get all their stuff out and like talk and whatever. And then they can devote whatever they need to the rest of the weekend. Because I could tell that in Pasadena, that's what they all wanted to do. Yeah. They all wanted to sit down and just chill, like drink a beer and talk. But there wasn't enough time to do that because everyone, had their own lives and had to get home. And it takes fucking 45 minutes for them to get home. So I think that if you gave them that space, especially since some of them haven't seen each other in literally 30 years, they're going to remember that for the rest of their lives. And I think that's what I would want to do again.
Mine is actually hers. I was gonna say that's exactly it. Like that's my them enjoying each other's company. Like us as fans, I'm sorry, you're all here. This is a podcast for Tremors fans.
Cool.
We're all great. I understand that. Those people deserve their time to hang out with each other.
They haven't seen each other in a really, really long time. And it's crazy because they all live out there and you think they would. Yeah. No, they genuinely have not seen each other in a really, really long time. And they've been seeing each other more frequently and they love it.
Yeah.
And so they want it to keep happening, but it's hard because
I'm working on it.
they all have like really crazy schedules and are always doing something. And again, it takes forever to get anywhere. Even if you live 20 miles away, it could take you an hour and a half to get there. So I totally get it why they don't want to do that all the time.
There's a lot.
But if you gave them a chance to come back to where it all started, I wouldn't say no. Especially if I was a part of that first movie, I'd be like, that's kind of a journey that I need to finish.
All right. What was your favorite thing and what was your least favorite thing? Like that can be any part of the actual physical trip.
I don't know.
I have to say my favorite was actually Lone Pine. That was so fucking cool. Like out of everything, that was.
Yeah. I think just being in, like, when we were walking down the street, like, we ate lunch at that one place and we went to the rock shop. That was, and then being in that hotel and then remember talking to those guys? Like, it was a really cool.
Josh and Ryan.
They were just, it was a really cool vibe.
Yeah.
Just very laid
They were
back.
there for a 5K run at Cerro Gordo.
And some kind of silver mine or something.
Mine. Yep.
I don't know what
they ran to the silver mine. It was a whole. They didn't actually. Their friends were doing it. They were just there for the emotional support. It was a whole crew.
It was like they were from Florida. Yeah. They were really cool. I
so
like Lone Pine.
Was cool. Least favorite then.
The whole money handling thing.
Yeah. I hate money.
I do too.
I hate money so much. That was I'm so good. Because what it was that Finn was concerned about trying to pay us, like, for the hotel, because we bought the hotel. And it didn't matter how many times we were like, we don't care.
Money
like,
just makes it messy.
We enjoy your company. Like, let us, like, this is totally fine. She was still trying, like, and she was concerned about the amount of money. We're like, we don't care. Like, this is
talking about money.
It was like, we were trying eventually, because Kate, like, she had given Kaitlin, like, some money, and Kaitlin was like, here, I don't know why you gave this to me. Just take it back. And it, like, solved the whole thing. It was like, yeah, no, we don't. No. Oh, God, no. Please, no. I'm so good on that.
We're community theater actors. We don't expect to get paid for anything.
I don't want to be paid. I'm good.
I get paid for my job at the pharmacy, but other than that,
it's much like the picture. I get to say I spent a weekend in a hotel room with Finn Carter.
Yeah.
Why do I got to get paid for that?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I did not care for the money talk.
I would agree. I'm glad we both have a similar one on that.
And it's no one's fault. It's a conversation that needed to happen, but I did not care for it much.
Wow. Okay. I was going to say, what's the biggest takeaway is the last one, but I feel like we kind of hit that.
The biggest takeaway is that you and I can pretty much do anything, because we
badasses.
Really,
I'll buy that
with as chaotic as it started, and then adding me into the mix, it shouldn't have gone as well as it did.
No.
But it did. And we made it back alive with minimal, like, problems.
Yeah. We did it.
It shouldn't have worked, but it did.
And then
I don't think we should push it again.
Yeah. Not unplanned like that. It's not that, okay, so out of all of it, it's not any of the part, like the actual physical drive. It was the unplannedness of it. Mm-hmm. If that had been planned, I feel like we both would have been like so much easier. Like Levi Kate. And I have to say, so if you're going to spell it like that, it has to be Kait, not Kate. Because Kaitlin spells hers Kaittlin. So it's got to be Levi Kate. But no, the unplannedness, God, no. That would.
When we go back out there in November.
Real ID. Get your real IDs, folks. That's the main lesson of this whole episode.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know what we're going to do in November, but it's not going to be. I really like the idea of a train, but I also like the idea of flying and just being home in 4 hours.
Well, for taking the boys, like.
I don't know about taking the boys. I don't know about that. We'll have to talk about that. That seems like a lot. I thought about it, and I'm like, I don't know. We'll think about it. I actually kind of want to see what they think. I don't want to like push it on them.
That's true.
If they want to go,
you guys want to travel halfway across?
If they want to go, that's cool. But also, it could get really expensive. So, but no, I love the idea of taking our time to get there and then just being done and coming back and being back.
Like that's what I said. If we had planned that,
that's what I would love to do.
Cause I like sleeping in hotels along the way. They're usually cheap.
I honestly didn't mind that either. I actually kind of like that way too.
Like you get a little bit of the vibe of each place when you do, like just like.
We stayed in some pretty weird places too.
Only one of them didn't have a microwave.
The most expensive one in Pasadena.
Anything else you want to talk about? I had like we ended up going to Pride Fest and protests and barn concerts afterwards. That's what I got. I have my bracelet here and my Pride Fest ring. I mean, did you enjoy your Pride Fest? That's where the glitter came from.
I do. I can't believe we haven't gone to more Pride Fests.
Yeah, me too.
When I told people that this was our first one, they were like, "What?"
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, no, that's not something we usually do.
We went to another protest, kicked ass, #NoKings. I went to a barn concert last night. That was wild.
We do have a barn venue called the Codfish Hollow. It's literally like right over there,
Right
like
over
4 miles away. It's a barn out in the middle of nowhere, and you have to take a weird bus to get down there. And it's pretty awesome. If you ever are in our neck of the woods, it's something you should check out.
I don't know the total distance in hours, Chris.
A
lot.
The amount of miles, it was like 1,800 one way.
No. Okay. What was it? It was 28 hours.
28 hours.
One way.
And we drove the whole way there, no stop. Well, we stopped for like bathroom and food or whatever, but like we didn't sleep. Like we didn't stop at a hotel and sleep. Exactly.
Yeah.
Correct. Hashtag Red Bull. Like I don't know how we did that.
Is someone gonna have a graboid costume? I don't know. That's a great one, Afro. Someone should. Although I really want to make the Perfection Fest more meta. Somebody suggested that to me in terms of like making it an event that almost like Jody Chang is putting on.
Oh.
Like actually like a real Perfection Fest, like the town itself.
Like
Perfection.
at Chang's Market.
Yeah. Yeah, somebody can make a costume. Yeah, I would pay to see that. That would be cool. Shit, where was my brain? Oh, we have one really special thing that we have to do. And if you're in the chat, I would request that you join along with us. Yesterday was he's the best fan of the show because he's the only one that's listened to every episode. That's my qualifier. Like you actually have to listen to episodes of the show to be the best fan. And that fan is William Thomas Cody III. And it was his birthday yesterday. And we did not do a show. And I would like to sing Thomas, happy birthday.
Okay.
As a way of kind of ending things up here.
I think that sounds lovely.
So Thomas, if you want to sing along, everybody in the chat will do a happy birthday song for Thomas. So on a 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Thomas. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, I have to say, actually, hold on. We got to do Afro. It was Afro Pugsley's birthday recently, too. So one more time. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Afro. Happy birthday to you. Oh, it's the boys' birthday. One more time. All three of them. Happy birthday to...
Nope.
Wow.
I'm not doing that one.
Wow. Shantae, Chantrell, Samaja.
I have already sang to them plenty of times, and you're
Wow.
selling past the close.
Wow.
You need to read
Look
the
at
room,
that.
my dear.
Look at
I
that.
love
Look
you.
at that.
But yes, happy
No,
birthday
thank
to
you.
our friends.
Happy birthday. I just had to.
We appreciate you and love you.
Wow. Yeah, it was good to see her there. Susan Chuang, she actually was going to be at Tremors Fest last year, but she was going through some family stuff. Ooh, carefully. Yep.
Nope.
Yeah, happy birthday, Afro and Thomas, to you both. Much loves. I'm looking at my thing. I think we did it. Yeah, we had everything. Holy shit. I don't really need to say anything. I say shit all the fucking time. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to people. Thank you to Chris. Thank you to Wayne. Thank you to Alex. Thank you to Afro. Thank you to Ben. Who else was in the chat? Thank you to Jennifer. Thank you to Kylie. Thank you to Sarah. I think I hit most of them. Yes. Thank you to everybody for.
Thank you for listening to us jabber about Tremors.
Yeah. Well, this was more about our lives. It wasn't just Tremors. This was like
our lives are
actual
Tremors.
lives.
Are you kidding me?
Ooh. Let's go watch
true.
Family Ties. How about that?
We are going to go watch
Sorry,
Family
she said
Ties.
Tremors, and I just thought of Parkinson's. That's how bad my brain is. Oopsies.
Well, we have been watching Family Ties because there's a Michael J. Fox thing. We have been talking about Parkinson's a lot. Guys, in Family Ties in 1980 whatever, Michael J. Fox was definitely having issues with Parkinson's because, like,
he's very twitchy.
If you guys ever watched Family Ties, like, Alex P. Keaton is super twitchy and, like, always moving, and, like, he does all this weird shit with his hands and stuff, and it's like Michael J. Fox does this a lot because he can't control his arms, and Levi pointed it out, and now it makes me super freaking sad. But watch Family Ties because Michael Gross is a great actor.
Yeah, get that drone, Afro, and yes, watch Family Ties. That's for everybody. If you're a fan of Tremors, you should really watch Family Ties. It is, like, required. Until next time. This is
I love how
Apple-
we have like an on the scene reporter. I love that.
We're gonna have a geologist at Perfection Fest. Did I tell you that?
Really?
We're gonna have an official geologist.
Whoa!
Kate
Yeah, let's talk
Larson out
about
there.
let's talk about rocks.
I don't know exactly what the fuck we're gonna do with that, but
Let's go talk about the rock that they
that's kind
filmed
of
on.
what. Yeah.
Let's go talk. Listen to a dude talk about that rock.
No, it's her. She's awesome.
Even cooler.
Yeah. She's awesome. But yeah, I was gonna say I don't need to fucking people thank. All done. Kaitlin, as is customary with this show, you can have all of the last words, and whenever you're
I
done,
hate this part.
whenever you're done, you just click that big red button up
I
there.
hate
that
this
says
part. I'm not
end
gonna lie.
stream.
This is my least favorite part about doing this. I don't like having. It's not my show. I shouldn't have the last say.
Yeah, but I talk all the time.
I actually talked quite a bit during this.
I know you know, but like I talk all the time by myself. So whenever there's a guest, it's customary to give the last word because I always have it.
I guess I'm just never gonna understand your brain, and that's
It's
okay.
respect. Like it's respect for the person because, like I said, I always have the last word. So if there's another person, give it to them.
I don't know what to say. The end.
I mean, you could just like you could sum up your entire thoughts and everything, or you could just say the end.
I'll just say I thank everyone for being here, and I hope you all have a great week. Talking Tremors forever. Oh, and we'll see you in Lone Pine. You can smile. It won't go.